And we're back with another episode of the Lakers Fast Break Podcast. It's Gerald Glassford live from Vegas, daring the heat as best I can to go ahead and try and get at us, but it's not working because we're still having a pretty good summer. It is Gerald Glassford. Thanks again for joining us right here at the Lakers Fast Break. I also host the Pop Culture Cosmos, which twice a week covers the world of pop culture. I was just explaining that. You always talk about the Pop Culture Cosmos. What's the Pop Culture Cosmos? Well, it's a show I do. In fact, it's a show I've been doing longer than the Lakers Fast Break, where I cover the world of pop culture for an hour, twice a week, every week, wherever you get your podcasts. It still goes out to several smaller radio stations around the world, and also as well, again, you can see or check it out sometimes on YouTube, always on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and of course also as well popculturecosmos.wordpress.com. My latest episode, I got a chance to go ahead and talk about Superman. I give my reviews in detail. I give my review and thoughts in detail. If you remember the Lakers Fast Break, you got to see it several days ago, but everybody else got to see it in full. As far as actually hear it in full, it's right there for you, waiting for you on wherever you get your podcast right now. So, Hassan, yes, a pretty good game tonight. I don't know if any of the individuals that you saw tonight are going to make a Lakers roster. In Bronny's case, we don't have a choice. He is assigned via contract to the Lakers roster, and we'll talk about more of that in a minute. But yeah, a good game by the Lakers tonight. As far as the Laker veterans, the guys playing for their NBA life came out to really try hard. You can see that it was a big impression. They were trying to make a lot of those guys. And I'll talk more about that here in just a second as well. I want to give some props out, though. The Lakerholics crew, Lakerholics.com. Laker Tom, got to give the guy credit, 80 plus years old, and he is still trying to go ahead and make those trades out there. If you want to go ahead and check out what he's doing today as the #1 blogger on the Los Angeles Lakers, go ahead and check him out today at Lakerholics.com. Yeah, big baller 666. Bronny, he had that, kind of promising first game. 10 minutes, 10 points, looked like he was in control, looked comfortable out there, like a second-year player should. A second-year player playing in the summer league should be in control, should be more adept and adaptable to the game. But we've seen so far this summer a lot of low points for Dalton Knecht and definitely for Bronny. Since that first game, it has not gone well for Bronny. And I will go ahead and I'll bring out his stats. I have his stats on the stat line that's there, so I'll go ahead and give it here in a sec. Blue Magic, that's one I discussed. I threw it out there. Cole Swider, does he deserve a two-way contract? I threw it out there. I mean, if you don't think anything's better, again, we haven't seen Eric Dixon. We haven't seen Marciulionis. Both of those guys have foot injuries and are out for the entire summer league. Adou Thiero, who is a second-round draft choice, who they gave a contract to already, he has a knee issue. And all three of these guys will not be available until training camp. So there it is. There it is. Intel Wild, you do not have to go ahead and watch from behind. You can go ahead and, since it's the start of the show, going to go ahead and get you in on it from the beginning, my friend. Hopefully all is well with you. It's still 110 degrees out here in Vegas, but it's ice cold in the Thomas and Mack as the Lakers played earlier today. We need to sign coffee. You know what, Intel, you got us on that train. A couple other people, including myself, followed you onto the train. The problem is the train has not stopped at El Segundo with Mr. Rob Pelinka. And I can't believe he's still out there. A 40% three-point shooter, 6'7", was on a team that was one of the best defensive teams in the league last year. Guess nobody wants him out there. Just seems very strange indeed. Yeah, tough. So it was actually hotter last year when I was waiting to get into the building for my comp last year. Yeah, my daughter and I were just like, we're out there for about an hour. And I was just said, you know what? At this point, I'm going to go buy the tickets. I can't wait for this comp. And as soon as I was in line waiting to buy the tickets, the comp came. That was 114.15, I think. It was hotter last year around this time. Just want to give you a heads up. Coffee he was almost 10 points a game until Wild. That's to give you an idea. And Joe's here right now, but to give you guys an idea, Amir Coffee was also a 40% shooter overall during the season, just like Laravia. Laravia only is averaged, I think, 6.5, 7 points. I want to say, guys, correct me out there if it was higher, but I think it was just under 7 points a game. Amir just averaged just under 10. So, I mean, if you're basing it off of that, he's still out there as a free agent. Jake Laravia is signed for $6 million. Is he as good a player as Jake Laravia? I don't know. You guys have to go ahead and do the eye test on that. I think they're about the same. Both have promising futures, both of them. So why is one player still looking for a job and one player on a 2-year, $12 million deal? Your guess is a good rhyme, other than maybe a better agent involved in this process. That's probably my guess there. But it is, of course, the Lakers Fast Break, and here today to discuss today's game and the situation where it stands with the Lakers, including the comments trying to shoo away Dave McMenamin earlier today when Dave McMenamin tried to get an interview with him to comment on his current situation with the Lakers. Is a good man indeed. It is, of course, Joe Soro. Joe, good to have you here. Parade on Figueroa said Gerald McTen reported during the game that Rich Paul told him that 4 teams have approached him about wanting to trade for LeBron. Here we go, Joe. We're going to start with this. We're going to start with that because that's the juicier topic before we get into the game, because that wasn't really that juicy. Yes, the Lakers won, but really, how many players are actually going to contribute for the Lakers? So we'll get into that a little bit later, but I think Braydon Figueroa, of course, Dave McMenamin, reported during the game that Rich Paul told him that 4 teams have approached him about wanting to trade for LeBron. Is that true or is that false? I think I know your answer already. But Parade on Figueroa on Twitch, always great to hear from you.
I don't know who McTen is.
Dave McMenamin. McTen is his Twitter handle, X handle, whatever you handle you would call it.
So let me get this straight based off what you just said. I was expecting a summer league discussion, and now it's already back to LeBron. So for those of you who are LeBron fans who have been sending a lot of hate messages towards us, you might want to turn your hearing aids off or piss off. Explain this to me. By the way, I haven't heard any of this until right now. Literally right now. So don't think I'm sitting in a corner growing my fingernails.
Let me just put also as well. Dave McMenamin approached LeBron during the game to talk about a situation, and LeBron basically brushed him off and said, "No."
So explain this to me. Explain this to me. If McMenamin is such a middleman type, why is Rich Paul telling him that there's 4 teams that are ready to go, and then LeBron shoos them away? What kind of relationship is this? Which is it?
Not a very good one right now. Or
why would he tell this guy? Why would his agent tell him this? And then when he wants to talk about it, he tells him to go away. It's not lining up. The amount of bullshit that comes out of that guy's area. How can some of you people who blindly watch this fucking guy, how can you sit there and defend it? The amount of assness that comes out of that camp. And you wonder why we want this to end. I was coming onto the show to talk about Summer League game. I wasn't coming on to talk about LeBron and McTen. If you're going to have a nickname like McTen, don't look the way you do. That's like calling Joan Rivers Barbie. What?
The actual quote was, "I ain't got nothing to talk about."
Ain't got nothing to talk about?
Yes.
I ain't got nothing to talk about.
Yes. That's the exact quote from McTim. Just get this stuff out of the way now so we can go ahead and have a good discussion.
I ain't got nothing to talk about with LeBron James. I guess at this moment, I think my size probably said enough.
Well, there you go. That's Parade on Figueroa. Always great to hear from you on Twitch. But yeah, you tell me the 4 teams. You tell us the 4 teams that would actually, if LeBron said tomorrow he wanted to be traded, you tell me the 4 teams that think they would win with LeBron, but they would have to give up $52.6 million in assets in order to do so. You tell me those 4 teams. I'd like to know, because I thought about it for 5 minutes because I didn't want to put too much thought into it because it really started to hurt my head. But yeah, there are just not that many teams that are going to do that. They're going to want to do that. They want LeBron for cheap. They want him for free.
Send us this. New York, call New York. Let's see if New York, if it's true. Let's say New York is one of those 4 teams. Send us Bridges, send us Josh Hart, and send us McBride and a first-round pick, and let's go.
You know they'll try to send you Cat instead.
I don't want Cat.
Okay. Because the money lines up. That's why.
Yeah, no, we're not. And also, I'd rather have guys that are available and have a little bit of grit. This team needs that.
I agree with you. I would ask for multiple players just to improve the depth on this roster.
I'm not trying to take the look. They can compete in the East with Brunson, Anunoby, Towns, and LeBron. They can compete. They could get to the finals with that team because the East is depleted in so many ways in the big spots. A lot of guys are out, right? So you have Indiana that's out likely now. Milwaukee's going to try to compete, but I don't think it's going to work. What else? The Celtics, they got their main gun out. So every team that I just mentioned, one has been jettisoned. Dame. Boston has Tatum out. Indiana has Tyrese out. Who else is left? Cleveland? Is Cleveland 2 of the 4 teams? Why would Cleveland trade any assets to LA for LeBron, who's going to then dominate the young players again?
I'd want McBride and Robinson in that argument for me, along with maybe an OG.
I mentioned McBride because there's also a money.
I like McBride. I really like
yes,
McBride.
I do
think
too.
He's got a little moxie to his game,
and that's what this team needs. This team needs that. So if I'm New York, there's no way I make that trade. By the way, but
I wouldn't either.
If they indeed wanted to make a trade, that's my ask. And I want a first-round pick too.
If I was New Orleans, I would. I'm still, Joe, on the New Orleans thing. I don't know why. I feel like Laker Tom when I do that, but I know someone's probably going to catch it or someone else going to catch me on it. But I know they signed for extensions. I know that Herb Jones just signed an extension. But yeah, if LeBron wanted out tomorrow, I'd send it. I'd ask to see if I could send him to New Orleans and see if I could get Trey Murphy and Herb Jones in exchange. I'm sorry, I'm just selfish like that. Throw in anyone else you want, Missy or Alvarado. Yeah, that'd be cool. But that's just me. But again, you find us those 4 teams, Rich Paul. You tell us which 4 teams are right now. If LeBron asked to be traded, which are those 4 teams that could send $53 million in assets? Because if I was Genie, if I was Mark Walter, if I was Rob Pelinka, I would not have let LeBron have his cake and eat it too. I would not give him a buyout now. Maybe if the Lakers suck this year for whatever reasons, injury or what happens, let's say it just goes off the rails and it's February and it's after the trading deadline. You couldn't trade him for whatever reason. Okay, buyout, fine. We'll talk about that if that ever happens. But I think the Lakers are going to be a competitive team. So I don't think that there's any chance for that. So again, LeBron is always trying to make news when there is no need to make news. And today he was there and that making his presence known. It's the usual coming in a couple minutes late so they can come in, so the whole crowd can go ooh and ah. Then he leaves 5 minutes early, Joe. Make sure he gets the applause so everybody can go ooh and ah. So there you go. No problem, Legend. Take your time, my friend. Good to have you back. Hope your vacation was well. And yeah, just great to have you apart whenever you can step on. I sent you the link if you can. But Joe, your thoughts, man. This because again, this is LeBron's thing. I have never been as hard on LeBron as you have been. But I told you after the New York situation a couple seasons ago, Joe, I'm off it. I can't defend LeBron. That passive aggressive stuff, I just can't anymore. It's just so tiring. It's just so exhausting as someone who sees LeBron as one of the greatest players of all time, as someone who wants him to be a part of any Lakers great success. It's just so tiring and exhausting to just continually get all this noise. It's just noise. It continues to be just noise. I feel like it's just like we're listening to, like we're on a Radio Shack, like an old radio we got at Radio Shack, and you just hear, you're turning the knob. You're turning the knob, trying to find something, a station or what have you, or a channel. And it's just all this ambient noise that doesn't need to be there, Joe, but it is.
Yeah, it's you just have to handle it another 10 months and it'll be over.
I hope so.
Yeah,
at this point,
it's over. It's over. And it really started February 1. We just didn't know it.
Yeah.
It started February 1. We got a hint of it, but we didn't know how the season would end. Season ended the way it has ended the last 3 seasons, which is you have somebody on there who's getting paid to be what he used to be. And then what would happen is on our show or just out there in general is the blame game from the narrow-minded crowd because they want to be in their own feelings of being right started deflecting, started projecting their issues to something else. Luka. Well, Luka, how come you're not mad that Luka did this? How come you're not mad that Luka did that? Luka's been a Laker for 15 minutes. Why would I get mad at Luka? Luka just had his entire life flipped. That guy was ready to settle down in Dallas for the next 50 years. And what do you want Luka to do when he's not getting the ball in the moments that he's actually been good at? Oh, Joe's a hater. Oh, you guys are haters. This word hater, it's just like the word woke. It needs to be flushed down the toilet. Seriously. I am so sick of the lexicon words in society at this point. I hate to lose. And LeBron is helping the losing by being the way he is. I am not in awe of LeBron James, and I never will be. I'm in awe of no one. I don't give a shit who it is. I'm an LA Laker fan. I'm here to watch my team win. I'm supporting Luka Doncic because he's an LA Laker. Did you see me kissing his ass before he became a Laker? There's a lot of guys I admire, sure, that play well, that are enjoyable to watch. But when did you see me talk about Luka the way I have the last 6 months before Luka became a Laker? Don't you think it makes sense that I'm about the support of Luka Doncic because he's on my team?
Sharon, the only thing I say, okay, again, Sharon. If you're saying he's not, she just popped on, and A sports baby's
No,
impersonating.
Sports Baby
Sharon.
is mimicking her.
Okay, yeah, I see that now. So it's like, oh, Sharon. Uh, Again, for any LeBron haters, come on. It's just all I'll say is this: please, you got to understand. You got it. I am a very patient individual, Joe, but after a while, it just gets old. It just gets, you either want to go ahead and win, or you want your cake and eat it too. And the thing is, you just can't have in today's NBA with the way the salary caps are structured, with the various tax lines and whatnot. You just cannot have your cake and eat it too. You have to make sacrifices. If he would have said, you know what, I want to go on another team, want to be able to win a championship, I'm willing to go ahead and half my salary or what have you to do it, I'd say, you know what, that's very admirable by all means. But just the noise, him saying it without saying it, and all these other things that are going on. Rich Paul being the guy that's tooting out all this extra stuff on it. It just needs to stop. It just needs to stop and let this play itself out. If he does not want to be on the Lakers, be a man. Go to El Segundo. Knock right there or right now. Rob's right in Las Vegas right now, Joe. He is right there at the Thomas and Mack Arena. You just have to go find him. He's probably somewhere in the first 2 or 3 rows. I know where they sit. I know where they're at. I know where these GMs and VPs, they all sit. They're right there in the first section of the bleachers. I know where they're at. I've been there myself. He just needs to go right there and just say, I want to trade. I just want to
And it's interesting. I was thinking about this because I had made a comparison on playback today about, it was more of a 30-year window of LeBron James. So LeBron James in the past has played I came from a hard upbringing, blah, 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 blah. A lot of that. Everybody comes from some tragedy or some crazy bridge that they have to cross, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I have a response to that that's a little more brutal than I probably want to do on the show. But if you ever hang out with me, I'll explain it. LeBron James has been catered to for almost 30 years. He doesn't know any other way. And in comparison to that, you've also had guys like Jimmy Butler and James Harden be petulant children and get their way each and every time. It may puzzle LeBron at the moment on why he's not able to do what those guys did. He's trying to figure out how the hell did Jimmy Butler do what he did for the 4th time and get an extension with the Golden State Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure LeBron thinks he's a much better player than Jimmy Butler, right?
Yep.
Probably. Why am I not getting an extension? How did Jimmy Butler take down the Godfather in Miami and get himself traded to Golden State and still got what he wants? And I'm LeBron James, and I'm supposed to be Genie's best guy and all this, and I'm not getting what I want. This is weird. You know why, LeBron James? Because Genie ain't in charge anymore. And all this fluffy stuff that you're hearing, she's going to stay as the governor.
For 5 years.
And the fact that you're going to ask yourself, is Rob Pelinka going to still be there? At this point, I've already made my comment on that, so I'm just going to let it play out, okay? The people who are going to be in charge, who might already be in charge, are going to show you all how this is going to work. That's why I'm not worried. That's why I wasn't worried as soon as the news came out.
And I've told you my only difference on that is I want this team to win now.
Okay, hold on. There is
but
no
they're not.
such.
But it's obvious. It's obvious.
First of all, you cannot all of a sudden this is how it needs to be now because these guys have the resources. First of all, this is a completely different beast that they have to slay. The NBA has the worst collective bargaining agreement in sports. It's so damn confusing. There's so many working parts to it. They've complicated the simplest thing. So they got to get themselves established here. This isn't like Major League Baseball where they can just Andrew Friedman can be talking to Tanner Scott. Hey, what do you want? Oh, I want this. Okay, I got to call Stan real quick. Hold on. Stan? And then all of a sudden Stan's like, all right, I got to call Mark. Mark, is it okay? Good. Green light. All right. Andrew, you're ready. Go ahead. Give it to him. That's not going to work here. There's a lot of stipulations that you have to work with. That's why we have to wait for this thing to end. And it's comical that this guy apparently opted in, even though it's not official yet, or the Lakers haven't made it official. He opted into his money, and then he's still complaining. Bitch, if you were complaining, why don't you stop? Don't take the money and then go be a free agent. You had that choice. Am I wrong? Am I hating? I didn't make the choice. I'm sitting in my house. I'm at work. I'm not controlling LeBron James. Answer me that question. People out there. Did I force LeBron James to sign his contract, his opt-in? He could have opted out and be a free agent. Oh, I know why he didn't do that, because no one's going to pay him $52 million a year. Now what? He's a disease. Except those few minutes during a game where he plays amazing. But he's a disease everywhere else. He is that spouse that is so high maintenance that you can't get rid of them unless it's the perfect situation, because then you'd have to deal with, oh, is this person going to take half my money? Is this person going to now make it hard for me to watch my kids? LeBron James is a bad spouse, an irritant spouse that you have to put up with until you don't have to. And the Lakers made a great choice here in the last few months in making sure that this spouse has no power on them in the next 10 months. And that's bothering him. He wants what Jimmy Butler got. He knows he's better than Jimmy Butler, and he is. He's still a better player than Jimmy Butler. But you're not going to do it in LA. Thank you for the 8 years coming up. Thank you for getting us out of the Rob Sacre era. I greatly appreciate it. But the time is over. It's over. The new era is coming. The era is Luka and the Guggenheims. And this is going to be about winning championships, first and foremost, above anything else.
Once again, it is the Lakers Fast Break, Lakers Weekend. Truly appreciate you joining us. The Lakers.
I did not come on here to talk about LeBron James. I thought we were going to talk about Summer League.
Yes, I know. We are going to do that here right now. It is, of course, the Lakers Fast Break. Lakers do win 94-81. Just to answer real quickly Intel Wild's question on as far as the Super Chat is concerned, truly appreciate it. He said, who does LeBron sign with next season? I would probably guess New York or Cleveland, or whoever whatever top level team will take him and draft Bryce James as well, because I think Bryce will come out after his first year, similar to what Bronny did, and play with Dad as well. So we will see what happens there. But my guess is Cleveland or New York or something like that, if he wants to play another year in the league. But great to have also as well our good friend, the legend himself, Legend from I Got Next Sports Media. Great to have you here, Legend. Yes, Sports Baby Booker did get an extension for 2 more years. Is it at $150 million? I think, Joe, is that correct? 2 years. It's about $75 million a year, I think, as far as the average.
It's the most ever, I think, at this point.
Yeah, it is. But that's soon to change, I'm sure, as well. Legend, great to have you here. Before Joe and I and you get into today's game, as far as for the Lakers standpoint, what have you been watching in Summer League? I know what I would look for in Summer League. I know what I look at in Summer League, whether I'm there in the Thomas and Mack or the Cox Pavilion, or I'm watching on TV. What are you looking at so far in the Vegas Summer League?
The biggest thing I'm really looking for is just seeing how the new guys, how they kind of adapt into the faster pace. the longer 3-point line, NBA officiating, just seeing how they are reacted and having a chance to see what their game look like on a level that is kind of like in between college and NBA, seeing how they handle that wise. And just having a chance to see, how good these guys really are in the spotlight. So definitely want to say I enjoyed watching Cooper and Bronny go against each other, just to see how that looks wise.
Yeah, that Bronny thing, again, Legend of Experiment says Bronny is very impressive. I came on the show, Legend, and you were here with me about a week ago when we talked about Bronny's first game. It was actually the second game for the Lakers. And 10 minutes, he looked like he was under control. He looked like a player that, Joe, I'm going to bring you on live, in the second year, more confident in his ability. Second-year players playing in summer league are usually more confident, and you see that reflective in better performances on the court. In his first game, he did look like that player. But since then, Joe, it has fallen off a deep cliff, and it's not been impressive. In fact, I just think Bronny should, once the summer league is over, never go anywhere near the Thomas and Mack again. I really don't think he should ever appear at the Thomas and Mack again, because those rims, at least he's hitting the rim this time around, guys. At least, Joe, he's hitting the rim this time around. Your thoughts on Bronny James today? 14 points, but it really wasn't that impressive when you look at it as far as the numbers that he had. 1 of 5 from 3, 5-11 overall. 4 turnovers, 4 personal fouls. He has not taken, and this goes to an extent to Dalton Knecht too. These guys in their second year are supposed to step up, and they're just not doing it, Joe. These are the guys with the NBA experience. What's up, Mark? Great to have you here as well. But Joe,
thanks, boys.
When you see Bronny out there today, you watched the whole game today. You saw the Bronny experience firsthand. Anybody who says he's taken that next level up, I thought it was going to get to that point, but a week later, after first seeing him, I have to say that's not the case.
I don't know what would give you a reason to think that, honestly.
That first game he played, it looked like it was going somewhere. But
another thing that's going to change here in the next 10 months is we don't have to deal with this in the next summer league. We can focus on the Cole Swiders and whoever at that time will be someone that we would want to look at to see if they have a chance of doing a two-way during training camp. And really, summer league, we've changed in how we evaluate the summer league in the last 7-8 years. Since Lonzo Ball came to the Lakers. I remember watching those games with D'Angelo Russell. I remember watching them with Lonzo and Ingram. It was so exciting because at the time, that was the first time I can remember, because even in the early 90s, mid 90s, when the Lake Show, that was what they were called. The young guys, the young guns, the Van Exels, the Eddie Joneses, and the Eldon Campbells with Vlade Divac, they were fun to watch. And we didn't really get a prep to see how that was going, because at the time I didn't watch Summer League. It wasn't as easily available. We didn't get a chance to get a prep of what that was. We just watched the season, and that's it. I didn't even watch preseason because of where I was. It wasn't available, right? So for Summer League, when Lonzo and the new young guns were coming in, we had a chance to really get a preview of what might come. And it so happened that Lonzo still is, in my book, the best Summer League player I've ever seen. He was doing amazing things, and Brandon Ingram was playing well, and D'Lo was playing well, and all these guys, all these young guys. And I'm like, man, I've never seen this. Like, we're building a young team from the beginning. We're Oklahoma sitting it. That's what I was saying. We're gonna, maybe we're getting our Durant, maybe not our, well, Durant at the time, there was some discussion that there's some comp that
I
Brandon
was
Ingram,
there, Joe. Yes, I know.
So there was a comp that
back
Brandon Ingram was kind of in that Durant area, even though I never thought he'd be a Durant. But the point is, there was those similarities, right? So I'm like sitting here, I'm like, whoa, right? And then, years later, after that high that's never been touched, now we watch. We're supposed to go back to what Summer League is supposed to be. Summer League is really supposed to be that one player that you're like, maybe two. But that one player, there's only 15 spots, guys, on an NBA team. So the chances of 2 or 3 guys in Summer League making an impact so that they can come to training camp is very low, right? So that one guy that I'm like, I wonder if this guy earned a spot. I wonder if this is the Reeves of this year or the Alex Caruso. Now it's become every waking moment is LeBron James Jr.'s face on everything, because they're trying to milk every dollar out of his ass and his dad's ass and Jeannie's ass and the Lakers' ass. And for us purists, at least for me, I'm like, I have to pause. I couldn't pause it today because I was doing playback, but I would pause the game. I had it on mute though. I couldn't hear them talk anymore. After the first 15 seconds, every word that they were saying, and then McTen came on there, and I'm like, what the fuck is this guy doing sideline reporting for? Who the fuck is this? How does he know what to do there? Isn't he a snitch for things? That's what those guys get paid to do, is to snitch, right? And then the moment he goes and talks to his boy, the guy that his agent talked to before, he chews him away like he's a gnat. I mean, seriously, this is child, high school, junior high garbage. I'm too old for this. I was too old when I was in junior high to deal with this shit. So, look, I want this to end. We're going to have to wait, though, at least one more season. I don't want to see LeBron James after this year, and I don't want to see his son anymore. I don't want to even know that they exist. I'm tired of it. I want the Lakers to focus on winning. Championship 18 and 19.
Before I get to Mark and the Super Chats, I wanted to go ahead and ask you your thoughts today. One of the things I've always said about Knecht, he had to start toughening up. And one of the things he really has to do is be able to play with force, play with energy, play with strength, and be out there to really assert himself. And he, outside of one quarter, Joe, this summer, he really hasn't done that. And then you heard the news today, Joe, that he was out today for rest after he got a cramp blowing that layup the other day. Yes.
What was he? What is he on his period?
Yeah, and you should have seen on X, Joe, the Trudells and the McMahons, because he's played a lot of games. He's played 4 games leading into today. I'm like, well, Cole Swider's played 4 games. Darius Bazley's played 4 games. DJ Stewart's played 4 games. They're playing for their NBA lives. What about them? Do they need rest? Oh, I guess not. But Dalton Knecht, Joe, needs rest.
Great. Nice.
It continues a strange pattern of behavior around Dalton, whether it's how we treat him or how he's acted post-trade. It's all bizarre, man. I talked about it today, Legend, with the boys. I said it was only a few months ago, LeBron was tweeting that this was the best draft pick that anyone had ever picked up at pick 18, and now the bloke can't play for the team. I don't know, man. There's something more to it. Whether that trade, got in psychologically, but there's still something there, Like, I mean, the other day, game 1 and game 2, man, he can explode like there's no tomorrow. So you've got to find a way to utilize it, or you've got to ship him somehow. You've got to use him in a trade. Like, I don't know, man. I feel a bit. Yeah, Dalton does seem mentally weak, but at the same time, you can still use his skills. So we'll see, man. It's just a funny situation with him. But at the same time, he's not the focus, man. We've got other better players, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, Dalton and the one. I mean, you made the comment there about Bronny. Gerald, yeah, I sort of agree with Joe. I don't know how you saw any promise to. Don't go me too hard, but yeah, Bronny's that's just a project. That's
That first
becoming a
game,
joke.
he looked like a capable
He like
summer
he was
league
the
player.
goal.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it's
And
just the
then-
size and everything. Like he's just
Yeah.
undersized. Like this, if you're
but
going to be
his shooting
undersized,
is-
you've got to be super
his shooting
special
is
at
gone.
something.
It's just
It's
not there.
shy. His shooting's shy. His defending's average as, man. They keep
He
talking
will-
about, oh, he's a good defender. He's not that good. Like he's not even naturally that athletic, man. I don't know. It's all if he didn't have that last name, he would be nowhere near this league. Honestly, he'd be
Yeah.
borderline playing in like the Australian league and stuff. So it's crazy to think that he's even on our roster. And
I
when I look at
remarked
him-
earlier during playback, Mark, that I thought he was 3 inside the Thomas and Mack. He was 3 for 100 from behind the arc in both summers. I joked on that, but I'm not that far off because he's
No, it's-
absolutely terrible shooting in there. And just to see him, because I was there live when he shot 0 for 8 and 3 air balls, and the entire crowd that was there was laughing at him and cutting jokes on him. And when I say at least he's hitting the rim every time now, I say that's a step in the right direction, but it's still bad because he's still missing.
Yeah.
He is, and I'm going to get this out. And again, we will get to the super chats, guys. Truly appreciate the super chats from both M24 and Intel Wild. For the summer so far, guys, he is 18% from 3, 37% overall shooting. And that is terrible for a second-year player. These guys, Joe, in their second year, they should know what they're doing. They should be out there, be comfortable with the situation. I mean, we see Cooper Flagg. He is still, like today, 31 points, but he did it on 22, 21, 23 shots. Again, he's still just chucking. And these guys, these rookies that come in, they're legend from 3, they're just chucking, and they're all missing. They're all missing right now. I know everybody wants to go ahead and glad hand Hanson Yang for his 10-point performance. He looks skilled. He looks like he really is skilled, but he is slow foot and has zero conditioning. If he does not get any conditioning, if he's not going to be able to give you more than 2 or 3 minutes in spurts on an NBA court, because he just blows up after that period if you watch that game. But he has some skills that I believe he can bring to Portland. But be that as it may, legend, these guys in their second year, they have to assert themselves. And on the Lakers, I don't see that assertiveness from Dalton or from Bronny. I see it from the guys who are desperate to try and get an NBA job, which we'll go into next, Joe. But legend, your thoughts when you see these Lakers play. The guys who are privileged and have the contracts in hand are not really taking advantage of it and improving their game. And the guys that don't have a contract are playing for the NBA lives. And you see the rough edges with all of them, but you see the effort as well.
You know what, Gerald, you're right. It's your second year. You're supposed to show signs of growth and improvement, and I was hoping Bronny was going to show some improvement too. That first game he did, like he showed some improvement, but now it's looking like we went right back to normal schedule. And Dalton, I don't know. That trade did something to him mentally. I think he's really got messed up on that trade, and his confidence, everything is gone. To me, it's gone. He's in a situation where you need to go somewhere else. Fresh start, go somewhere else. No pressure, no nothing. I think he'll snap out of it. Bronny, I don't know. He playing to me like a real 55 overall pick, and I get the feeling, I hope I'm wrong when I say this, but I get the feeling that when LeBron retires, he'll be gone. He'll be out of the league in about a year or two. I hate to say that, but I feel like that's what's going to end up happening.
Well,
and the guys,
he's got 3 years guaranteed and an team option for a forward, just to let everybody know. So,
and shout out what Martin just said in the chat. Baisley, they look really good. They look really, really good.
Man.
Baisley, Swindle, they look good. Them the guys who need to be taking the contracts.
You've got to find a way to get them, man. I mean, a guy like that can shoot like that Swider, and Baisley looks nice, man. He looks like he could be a serviceable player to me. I'd be looking to get him, Gerald.
Baisley has his issues. Unfortunately, that's why he lost his spot with the OK. He started games with OKC when they were bad earlier this decade. Still had other chances with, I believe, Utah. But with Baisley, you can see he wants to take it end to end. Anytime he gets that rebound, you can see he's just. It is a fact that you are, Joe, when you're out there. If you're like a Cole Swider, a DJ Stewart, or Darius Baisley, you are in it for yourself. I understand it's a team game, but this is your platform. You have to perform at a high level just to get an NBA training camp invite. So I understand why you didn't see a lot of passing today. You saw a lot of Baisley trying to take it all the way after he gets the rebound on several occasions. You saw Cole Swider chucking it up from all over the floor because that's what he's a specialty at. Are any of these guys deserving of a two-way spot? I'd say maybe Cole. Baisley, again, his shot from distance, I think, has been his undoing. That's the probably reason why he's not in the NBA. If you take a look at the stats and look at what he's done in Summer League, he's not big enough to make an impact as a center, as a 5, because he's 6'9", 220, I think. 220, does he look about? But it just... You hope for something for these guys, Joe, because they're giving every effort out there. Stewart, too, who's also bounced around the G League. You hope for these guys, but I don't see them impacting a roster. Again, maybe Cole Swider on a 2A if you don't like Eric Dixon or you don't like Koloko or you don't like what you saw with Trey Jameson. I just don't see those guys, any of those guys, giving a contribution to the Lakers. But it's not because they're not giving the effort, but it's because they're trying everything they can to get a job back in the NBA, Joe.
The way the NBA is structured now, you need these guys sometimes during an 82-game season where you might run into some injuries, and if you can replace, let's say Knecht is playing, right, and he gets injured, and then you have somebody like Cole Swider who you can bring up from the G League and play for a couple games or 3 games who can shoot. Yeah, I mean, there's a chance that could come about. I don't think.
But that's been his life, Joe. That's been his whole cup of coffee here, a cup of coffee there.
Yeah, and whether it's going to be with the Lakers or not is up to debate. I'm not really looking at Cole as an option, really, other than Baisley's somebody I haven't seen enough of to really make an assessment. I think he's got a good head on his shoulders. I think the way he conducts himself, it looks like a good professional. Guys like Koloko, guys like Jemison, I don't think should be on an NBA roster. They're just not they're not those, especially with what the Lakers need. Yeah. Oof.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even have them on as a third center. I just they're too deficient at this point. I've seen enough. My watching Summer League before everything started was about Dalton Knecht and maybe seeing Adu, but Adu ended up bouncing before we could see him because these are guys that could contribute to this year's team. I've seen enough of Bronny James. I don't care to talk or assess Bronny James. I've already assessed him. I've already seen enough. And I don't really want to see or hear or talk about it anymore, even though I know I will because the subject comes up. But I don't care about what Bronny does in Summer League. I don't care what he does in the 5-minute spurts during the year. He cannot play on this team once his daddy's gone. He needs to go. And he'll be here signed for at least one more year. So I don't know if they're going to keep him there just for as a hood ornament, like Genie, or package him for something in some situation. I don't know. But I don't want to. I want the Lakers to focus on the next steps. And it looks like Luka has put himself in a situation where he's getting his mind and his body ready. He's had a lot of time here versus the last few years when he's gone deep in the playoffs. So that in itself helped. It's actually a good thing that maybe looking at it, having a silver lining on it. It's never good to get bounced in the first round, but especially when you're a 3 seed. But in the silver lining is that Luka had a chance to really, really kind of get out of that funk that was still lingering from his trade from Dallas. And then now you're seeing that he's dedicated, he's focused, he sounds really, really like he's doing well mentally. Let's see what happens in the next 2 weeks in July, and then you have August, September, and then October. You got 3 more months. 3 more months of still getting yourself mentally ready, physically ready to get into shape, to get into training camp, and let's see what run you can make here. I still think that the Lakers are going to keep LeBron, make one more run, and then see what happens. Now, if LeBron and the crew can get a championship, then you can sit LeBron down and say, all right, you want another year? Cool. We'll give you another year. However, in 2027, even if the Lakers win it all, he's still gone. Because the Lakers have to now they have to adjust to the next run. But that's that's fantasy. I don't see it playing out that way anyways. So right now it's just the first steps. Step 1, you got Luka. Step 2, which is really probably 1 and 1. You got your next superstar, which the Lakers always had a habit, no matter who the owner was, Jack Can Cook, Dr. Buss, or the new ownership coming in. They always get their star. They got the star. Now build around him and get rid of the headache, the trash, and the distractions. And let's go get 18 and 19 so we can pass those green turds. It's all about winning. Win at all costs. Vince Lombardi said it's only winning. It's the only thing. Winning. I don't care about stats. I don't care about your legacy. This is about team ball and winning. We will support the player. We will talk very well of the player. You can see we love Kobe here. But when Kobe was about to retire, real Laker fans said, it's time. It sucks, but it's time. It's now time for LeBron to go all out one more year, maybe win on top, maybe retire at the end of the year. Do yourself a favor. Get your 5th championship, retire on top, and then you can go act like you're going to go buy an NBA team after that.
Once again, it is the Lakers Fast Break. It is legend Joe Soro, Mark, a.k.a. Xbox. Truly cannot thank them enough for being here. Lakers win 94-81. They even up their Vegas record at 1-1, and they're also 2-2 overall in the summer. Wanted to go ahead and answer a couple super chats before we get you, Mark. Wanted to answer first M24. He said they can't leave you hanging until Mark the Sniper. I'm assuming that's you. And a legend, Mr. Sniper. There you go. Intel Wildhead did have a question. Can you explain what swaps are exactly and how many do we have? First of all, we have, I believe, 2 first-rounders with the changeover to the new NBA financial season, which happened earlier this month, and also up to 5 swaps. So a year which the Lakers cannot trade out their first-round swap. Let's say next year, for instance, 2026. They can go to a team and they say, we can do a swap on the 2026 first-round draft choice, which means they would swap, let's say with New Orleans, just using them as an example, Mark. 2026, you can use a swap. If that's the case, in a trade where they do a 2026 first-round swap, they're basically swapping places if, in New Orleans' mind, that the Lakers have a better position than they do. Let's say the Lakers, they do a trade for whoever, and we bring a player in, and the Lakers give them a 2026 swap. What happens is if the Lakers, let's say the season goes awry and the Lakers finish below New Orleans would have the right to swap places in that draft, in that first round. So Intel basically, yes, that's correct. And they have 5 first round swaps available to them. They're not giving them a first rounder. They're just actually just changing the position if that other team chooses it. Now, if they don't choose to swap, then it just vanishes like that. Sometimes there's parameters where if it doesn't work out and the swap, there's an additional, like let's say 1 or 2 second round picks that are given as consideration if the swaps don't work out. But sometimes if it's just a swap and it doesn't work out, then it just doesn't work out. So there you go. On the explanation of swaps, it's just basically swapping positions in that whatever round that they choose. So first or second round. So again, if it's a second round swap, that means that both teams are in the second round. Which ones? That gives one team the right to choose the better position between the two teams. If it's a first round swap, then there you go. So hopefully that cleared things up for you.
Glad you're an expert on it. That's
well, that's a good question. It's a great question. It was thrown out left field, but I mean, that was something. It would have been, like during the draft, there were teams that were doing that. As far as the swaps,
it shows the level of complexity.
I don't mow lawns,
NBA.
dude. I construct. Get your shit together.
Go to simblades.com. Take a look at that, and then
I don't mow lawns. Mow.
Shout out to Div, man. Div was great on playback.
Div was
yeah,
great.
he was. So
Congrats,
I heard, Div, thank you again for step and tough as well.
Tough.
Div and tough.
Good job, tough.
Tough's always good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mark. You were talking about.
Like what you explained there, Gerald. I mean, the NBA cap and how it works and the swaps and all this, it's borderline insane, man. I mean, you need a rocket science degree to even understand it at times. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know what you were talking about there, 5 swaps, but if we've only got 2 picks, and
they have the ability to swap
5 picks essentially.
5 first rounders in the future.
Okay.
They have the ability to swap them.
Gotcha. During one trade sort of period.
But they only have the ability to give out 2 first rounders outright.
Nah. Don't do it to me. Yeah, I understand. I do.
So when I say they have 2 first rounders and 5 swaps, they have 2 first rounders they can give outright and 5 opportunities down in the next 7 years to be able to swap or change positions if the Lakers are the worst team. So there you go.
Man, that's whatever at that point. Like, what I'm going to just quickly touch on is just what we've got right now, Gerald. And I know we've had a bit of banter back and forward because you certainly believe that Rob should be doing something now to strengthen the team.
He should be doing more. Luka's prime is right now. Right now.
What's that more though? Like, the team's still good. I think we're underselling the team, man. Like,
but the thing is, good doesn't win championships.
But Gerald, we didn't have I still feel like Luka was so hamstrung, honestly, and he still carried us to the 3rd position. Like, the guy mentally, like Joe's spoken about a few times, so have I. Like, his life was blown up essentially in February.
And
that's
I get
5 months ago.
And I'm not disputing that. And I know Div is not disputing that in the thing. But as far as Div is saying in the chat that Luka took worse teams to higher rounds.
Yeah.
The problem is OKC won 68 games last year, won the championship, and is really still talented at this point in time. Denver loaded up this offseason with a clear intent to win now. Same thing with Houston. Legend and I went over a lot on the Kevin Durant trade and DFS. And you don't think Houston loaded up?
Hell no, Houston. Give me a break with that. Like, Kevin Durant, I mean, you've been a good
They were second place in the Western Conference and cut Kevin Durant. You don't think that's going to do anything?
I think they lost one of their best players in the trade, and Kevin Durant's an injury-prone
Who was that?
Old man. Well,
Jalen
the young
Green?
guy that, I mean, he was averaging 21 points. Like, he wasn't.
Okay. Well, he's all over the place. But in the playoffs, Mark, I think you look at the regular season.
Show me when Durant's won, Gerald, without OKC. Without the boys in Golden State. Show me when Kevin Durant's won. And you think
understand that, but he has won. That's the point. He has won with a good team around him. He did win.
We're better than Houston. I think we're underselling the team. I mean, we've got people in the chat that saying LeBron's still one of the best 5 players in the league. So,
But
if that's
let me
the
ask you
case,
this. Let me just ask you this before I get into legend, then, Mark. Let me ask you
yeah.
this. In your opinion, did they do anything to address their depth issues? When they let DFS go and just got Jake LaRavia in return, did they improve their depth, which absolutely was an issue in the playoffs when there was one half where JJ had no trust in his bench and didn't play them the entire half?
Well, no, like
Did
Gerald's
they
the one.
also, well, let me
No,
add
they
on to
didn't.
this as well. Well, let me ask you this. Did they also address anything about athleticism on the perimeter as far as being able to defend on the perimeter? Because that was also an issue in the playoffs.
You're starting to make my points look pretty weak, but at the same time,
I mean,
no,
they're
they
not
haven't. No,
bad. They're a
yeah,
good team. You
we
hit it
were
on
all,
the head. They're a good team.
yeah.
But is a good team going to win a title even with Luka having an MVP season? That's my
But
thing. That's
didn't you
why
think this
and
team could beat OKC, Gerald?
I thought this team, if with LeBron and Luka and some semblance of a decent team around them, they had a chance against anyone. That's what I said before. That's what
Mm.
I've always said. But again, we're seeing, as Joe has indicated, these teams are loading up. As Ledge and I went over, these teams are loading up. These
Yeah, I
teams are
know.
loading up because they see weaknesses in OKC's game. They see that the fact that Denver went to 7 games against them, Indiana went to 7 games against them. The East is not so hot outside of Cleveland and New York. There are opportunities there for these teams. I'm just saying, you don't waste a year of Luka's prime with a 1 foot in, 1 foot out deal like, oh, we're going to wait for 2027 to happen, or we're going to wait for
Yeah.
Mark Walter to cross through that door. And like Joe and like Empire Jeff, because Joe's waiting for that day that Mark Walter comes in and will do what he says he's going to do and dramatically change this organization. That's great, but that's a season lost of prime Luka. And even if he gets the MVP, asking one guy to go through the playoffs against all those other teams in the Western Conference that loaded up, that's a tall task. I didn't say it's impossible, but it's certainly a tall task. I'm not saying this team is going to be bad. I'm still saying it's a 45, 47, 48 win team in the Western Conference. But with Clippers trying to do better, with San Antonio trying to play a little bit more like they're all in right now, Golden State's still there. As Legend will tell you, they haven't done much, but they're still got their core, which is going to be, again, around a 42, 45, 47. All these teams, Mark, are going to battle once again. Remember, there was 2-3 games between third place
it was crazy.
and eighth place. We could see that again. And if you don't get the right matchup, remember, playoffs are all about matchups, Mark. The playoffs are always about matchups and who you match up against. And if the Lakers don't have the right matchup, if they don't have the right fit against a team, we could see them lose in the first round again, or see them go all the way to the conference finals. Again, it's all about matchups. So
Yeah, and look, I won't take long, but I think for me, we just got to be really careful, Joe, because it's not a normal situation that we're in with LeBron. You've got who some believe is the GOAT, but an absolute aging superstar that they're trying to phase out at the same time that they got this young gun. So if it does take 12 more months for that to be facilitated and for us to, have a better future because you waited 12 months, I'm going to do it, Gerald. I'm as much a winner as you, Gerald, and I want to win every game and every year. I still believe we can, because people are telling me that LeBron James is still one of the best 5 players in the league. And if that's the case, they can make it work, man. So
I didn't
don't
say
know.
they didn't have a chance. I just said that, again, you're talking about a team that's not right now with the team that's built around Luka and LeBron. That
no, it's not ideal.
I would have liked to have seen more done. Let's put it that way. I would have, with the assets that the Lakers had, with the assets that the Lakers had, I would have liked to have seen more done to build around this roster, to give Luka a better chance.
I don't mind it. Personally, I know you think I agree with Joe too much, but he's
you
making.
Do what you want, man. I
agree with Joe in my own mind about this one. We gotta wait and make the right decision. It would be, what's that saying? You cut your nose off to spite your face or whatever. What we'd be doing right now if we make the wrong trade, because we're so obsessed with winning right now. You know, we've got a really insane future, which we didn't have 5-6 months ago. Do you remember we were talking in January about what the hell was going on with AD and how he was going to carry the team? So I think we're in a really fortunate position, and we just got to try to ride that out properly. And I honestly, man, there's a lot of people giving crap to Pelinka and stuff, and I've been on his back before as well. But he's been I think he's managed the situation quite well. And we're in a position now where Luka's looking to potentially sign for us long term. And a lot of that's got to be to do with Pelinka, man. If he can get that over the line and get, Luka to commit to the Lakers long term, we can't.
But if you aren't doing everything, well, I'll just say this: if you aren't doing everything you need to do,
but maybe he is,
and you're waiting till 2027, like so many have speculated, and like. Again, the proof is there that they've got a clear cap in 2027. And as Joe says, they're waiting for Mark Walter. Then you've wasted a year of Luka with something maybe you could have done better or more for. And if that's the case, as Joe's, keeps spinning his head and whatnot, I see you, Joe.
You're not wasting a year. You still have LeBron James there. You have to pay him.
That's what I'm saying.
But you have to build.
You can focus on building after that.
But you've never cared one iota about trading Reeves and Rui as assets to build your team now to make it better now.
Use what? Who's going to pay for those? How are you going to get a better player? Get this fucking thing off my face. How the hell are you going to get a better player for Reeves and Rui? Who's going to give you a better player?
You don't think you could get a better player or players?
Who's going to trade a better player for those guys? How does that make any sense? Are you going to get guys that are linear? Why? What's the point? Are you going to get better talent for Reeves and Rui? That question needs to be answered first.
First off, the answer is the fact that they both have expiring contracts.
It doesn't matter if they have an expiring contract.
Matter. It does
have
matter,
better
Joe.
talent out there to get for those guys? You're saying you want them to compete, right? It doesn't matter if they're – I've said this I don't know how many times. I'm going to say it again. It doesn't fucking matter if it's an expiring contract. If they piss off at the end of the year, it's just going to give the Lakers more money. Because you got what? You're going to have $70-80 million in free money under the cap. You're going to be under the cap.
Did you enjoy Alex Caruso leaving and getting
God.
nothing in return? Did you enjoy?
Were we over the cap?
DFS? Did you enjoy DFS?
Were we over the cap?
Walking away.
Were we over the cap?
Did you enjoy trading 3 second-round picks for DFS and then letting them walk for nothing?
You're not answering the question.
You're not answering mine.
It's irrelevant to what you're saying.
You're saying it's irrelevant. Okay, so winning is irrelevant to you.
You're
waiting for Mark Walter.
Arguing. I might as well talk to this fucking wall.
You're waiting for Mark Walter to walk through that door later this year.
Gerald, you didn't want DFS.
You don't have the money to spend. You will have it next summer. Are you dense? What's going on here?
But you don't have the ability to win now because you're not doing anything.
You can't win now unless LeBron plays like LeBron can play. You got 52 million there.
You're not getting it, Joe.
I do get it. I know exactly what I'm talking about. Are you going to trade Reeves and Rui for better talent so you can compete and go for a championship? The answer is no, unless you have a stupid GM that gives it to you. Who's out there that will?
I'll start with Joe Dumars.
Joe Dumars. What is Joe Dumars going to get? You're telling me Joe Dumars being on the job for 3 weeks is going to give you better talent? They just signed Herb Jones. They ain't trading Herb Jones for Reeves.
He just gave away an unprotected 2026 pick for a team that's probably not
call Joe Dumars and see if you can go get better talent then. Go ahead. Go.
It's too late now.
There's a difference between 3 years ago when they fucked up the Alex Caruso trade or signing. They had no money. They're going to have money at the end of this year. They're going to be under the cap.
But they
It
will
doesn't
have wasted
matter
a
if they don't
year
come
of
back.
Luka.
You're going to
You
spend
got
that
my
on
point
something
exactly.
else.
They have wasted a year of prime.
There is no waste. The waste conversation is over. Stop calling it waste.
So you're saying if Luka plays like an MVP level and the Lakers, just because they don't have enough talent around them, they don't get to the finals.
Go talk to the PA and talk to the owners on this monstrosity of a collective bargaining agreement. Don't get mad at anybody else. That's why this is like
I'm
this.
going to get mad at. I'm not mad at anyone. I'm disappointed that the Lakers did not do more this offseason to build around.
They can't go get what they want. It's impossible based off the current rules. And you're not. If you're going to tell me that they're going to get better players for Reeves, you're telling me somebody out there is going to value Reeves so much that they're going to give you somebody. Oh, not only that, but they're going to give you somebody that isn't getting paid $30 or $40 million, and it's going to exceed the 2027 focus.
Okay, so if Reeves, Rui, Gabe, and Kleber had been traded, how much is that as far as cap that you could have used towards better players?
Reeves makes 14, and the other two make 11 each. So you're looking at 36 million. Rui makes another 18.
Okay, so that's $54 million. So you don't think you could have built a better team with $54 million?
Who out there who's making $54 million, or two guys, let's say? So you're going to trade, two guys that are making half that, 26 mil? Who's out there that's better than those guys making 26 mil each? Two guys. Let's say it's two guys, not one.
It just doesn't seem like you want this team to win now, Joe.
This team can't win unless they win with this team. There is no way for it to work.
Can't win. You just said it right there. This team can't win until Mark.
I said it can't win unless it's this team. Because you're not going to get equal value if you trade those guys. No one is going to give you equal value. Actually, they could give you equal value, but what's the point?
Do you think this team is ready to win a championship right now?
I don't know. I have to see how everything ends up. And this fucking idiot and his agency yapping every fucking 5 minutes about how they're talking to teams about trades. This motherfucker doesn't have any trade value. What do you think? We're stupid? Who's going to give their assets for LeBron James for 1 year? Who?
That's a question I can't even answer.
Charlotte? Is he going to go to Charlotte? He's got a no trade clause. He ain't going to Charlotte.
I don't know of these 4 teams that would actually be insane enough to do that. So
it's bullshit because it's bullshit. No one is going to trade anything for LeBron James unless you give him away. Oh, sorry. Portland, if they want to get rid of Grant and then a couple other schmucks on there, sure. But will LeBron go to Portland? Fuck no.
No way.
So who out there is going to compete for a title that could get LeBron and have a shot? The only one is the Knicks. Give us Mikal Bridges. Give me Josh Hart. And give me anybody, the third guy. I don't care. Just to match contracts. And give me a first-round pick, and you guys can have LeBron James. Go ahead.
So, Legend, let me bring it to you, my friend. I'm sorry for the delay. Once again, it is the Lakers Fast Break. Joe and I fight all the time. It's okay. But it's always good to hear. It's good to see in the summer, though, Joe spirited like this. I like it. But I want to ask you this. When you go ahead and you see the landscape out there for your team, one of your teams, Golden State, Mike Dunleavy Jr. was on the other day, gave all the generic answers and all that stuff. Sometimes I don't even know why they do these interviews because it's like, okay, you're not telling me anything. You're not saying anything. It's a waste of our time. You might as well just put commercials sometimes in front of it. But and yet I digress. Mike Dunleavy Jr. hasn't done much for your organization. A team also with, like LeBron, in the final stages of his career, with a superstar as well on your team. You've got players that want to, depending on the team that's built around them, have the same aspirations that the Lakers do. But they're in what I think is around the same place that the Lakers are, a team that's in that 4 through 8 discussion in as far as the Western Conference as of now. Now, subject to change. We'll have to wait and see. Again, I'm just observing it as of right now. Your thoughts as a Golden State fan I'm sure the fan base is out there saying they want them to do things that will help them win right now while they still have a Curry it's not prime Curry, but it's still a Curry that can still be very deadly and given the right teammates around him can go a long way in the playoffs.
I can go on X right now and look at a lot of my Golden State brothers and sisters all saying the same as I'm thinking too. The fuck is they doing right now? Because it looks like they're in the office playing tic-tac-toe, drinking a good bottle of wine, buying the strippers, and getting ready to enjoy themselves and all that. We on vacation time. It don't matter. I get it. Think Steph Curry's 30 years old. You wasting time, man. And I kind of feel how Gerald feels. I want to win. Like either them in Atlanta. I want one of y'all to win.
And you have better assets than the Lakers do in young players that other teams may covet.
I don't know exactly what's going on over there. I know that Kuminga situation is getting very, very weird.
Old.
Right
this
now.
is getting old, yeah.
Getting
and of
old
course, he didn't say anything about it or couldn't say anything really about it other than kind, complimentary things about Jonathan. Well, if he was as great as you said he was on camera the other day while you're at the Thomas and Mack, you would have already signed him.
Yep.
But that situation, just for him to go ahead and sit behind Jimmy Butler again for another year until he's needed, until Jimmy Butler pulls a hamstring or something and he has to come back out and play again. Just let the kid move on. Let the kid go and play somewhere else. But again, it's just the fact that we see the LeBrons and Curry's, Kevin Durant's, their days are numbered. And with Luka, for the Lakers, in shape, looking like he's $1 million, who is not committed, by the way, Joe, to the Lakers. Of course, we don't know anything as far as his future because, again, he can't be offered an extension until August. But Legend, I mean, you're in a similar situation with Golden State where your future should be more of a now. And it just does not seem like your front office is committed to doing so.
And it doesn't. It feel like they're in the mode of, I'm just taking my time, and when we get it, we get it. And that's the part that's kind of frustrating as a fan because you're looking at the clock is ticking. I'm looking at, I know a lot of us probably feel like Oklahoma could have been beat. That team's getting better. They're still young. They're not in their prime.
And they have 1,000 assets to do so. But again, if they go into another playoff series, Legend, with just two options to facilitate the ball in Williams and SGA, as we saw, two teams almost figured them out. If they don't turn the ball over, if the other team doesn't turn the ball over a lot and doesn't let them go on a parade at the free throw line, they can stay in the game with OKC and they can't beat OKC in a 7-game series because OKC is just so limited on the half court offensive end. I just don't understand why Luka, who provides you instantly a much better half court offense than almost anyone, isn't given more options. That's just my contention. Getting Ayton on a cheap contract.
Like Joe, sorry to cut you off, but isn't there time like in this off season? Isn't there like still, couldn't they trade in theory in 4 weeks time?
They can trade. Oh, yeah.
So how do we know they're not doing stuff? Like, and why are we so gung-ho that they need to have done it by now? Is it because of what Houston did and things like that? Like,
the first off is
Rob
there's
might
a lot
be working on something.
A lot of activity.
You know what I mean?
Well, he could be working on something. In fact, if you remember a few years ago, guys, around Summer League or at Summer League, the Kawhi deal and Paul George deal, that was done on a Summer League night. I know that those NBA executives will all tell you the stories. I know where I was when that happened. As far as I was near the strip when that happened. And as far as there was an earthquake that day, and then there was also an actual, the actual trade for PG and the actual signing of Kawhi by the Clippers. So it was all happened at once. It was kind of funny how that worked out, but there could be working on something, Mark. But it just seems the inference, and that was mentioned by Rich Paul. We can complain about Rich Paul all we want, guys, but the fact that he said that the Lakers seemingly were on two different timelines, which facilitated those rumors that the Lakers are gearing up, as Joe indicated, that 2026 and 2027 they will have a substantial amount of cap space to go out and sign players. But the problem is the Clippers have also made trades, like the Norm Powell trade in the recent days, Mark, that are showing that they are showing their cards for having a lot of money available to them to 2027. Washington, and I know Joe says who would go to Washington. Well, they will have over $100 million available to them as soon as next summer. It's not just these teams. I'm just giving those two as examples. I haven't really looked too far down the rabbit hole, but I'm sure there's going to be quite a few teams besides the Lakers, Mark, that will be trying to free up their cap space in 26 and 27, which may make it harder for the Lakers to build a team good enough around Luka to win that title. That's my concern, and that's why I'm hoping to win now. Plus the fact that if you have any belief that Jason Tatum will get back to full health in 2 seasons, not as saying 1 year, because an Achilles injury is one of the most serious injuries you can have as a basketball player. In 2 seasons, if you think he gets anywhere near that level, I'm pretty sure that we all are here would say that Boston's GM is one of the better ones in basketball, and he may probably by that time, if he sees Tatum going ahead and getting back to health, he'll build a team by that time around them that can compete once again for a title. That's my concern, Mark, when I go about that.
Oh man, there's some funny comments in the chat.
Oh,
Shout out
to our chat. We love you, chat.
And Thane's asked a really good question, which Joe's going to line up in a second here, but I'll just quickly answer it myself. Like, I still think, Gerald, and I'm going to push back on you a little bit. I still think there's 2 things. There's time in this trade window to make the right trade, which you hope that maybe Rob's working on. So we can keep sort of harping on the fact he hasn't done anything. Well, until he goes past the point where you can't do anything, let's give him a little bit more time. And then the other point is Luka's 26. The dude's not 31 like Anthony Davis. He's turning 27 in April 2026, towards the end of next season. Like, the guy is still so young that, we've got to be patient. And it's not, Legends feeling a little bit let down by his team. It's because his superstar is 37 years of age. Now, yeah, we do have a 40-year-old superstar, but we've got a very young one too. And you've got to make the right decisions. And I don't know how much more Rob can do. You've got
but you got to remember that young superstar has not committed long term to the Los Angeles Lakers.
Well, but we're doing, I know. Well, true, but what more? I mean, you can't just do everything at once, Gerald, and sort of pick
maybe because
he
can't until August 2nd.
He can on August.
Yeah, and surely they're doing everything. We've heard all that.
And even if he turns it down, though. It's could be like Jokic. Even if it turns it down in August, it's got to be like Jokic,
Showtime,
where he could get a lot more money next year. Because Jokic turned his down because, one of the main reasons he get a lot more next year.
If Luka doesn't re-sign for the Lakers, I'll be absolutely shattered. I don't see that happening, Gerald.
I hope you're right. I think you're right.
That would happen. I'll be slapped.
I'm pretty sure you're right.
Yeah. But Joe, if you want to have a look at that question by Thane, great question about Luka's prime. I personally feel he's still got 5, 6, 7, 8 years at a prime. I really do, the way that basketball is moving and the way that Luka plays as well. So how do you feel about that, Joe?
Well, Luka doesn't have to use elite athleticism to do what he does. And the older you get, especially in the NBA, the better you get mentally, if all things considered. He's normal physically. So there's a high probability that you're going to see Luka Doncic play in the next decade very, very well. He'll probably play at his best within the next 5 to 6 years. I think that's probably his prime. And then maybe he'll tail off a little bit after that, but he'll still be very, very valuable. As far as Luka Doncic's contract situation, I've said this since he got traded to LA. I think he should do the 2+1 so that after 2 years, he can opt out and sign the really big contract, which would be 5 years, $418 million. I think
Far out.
that's what I would.
He has to hit 10. Once he hits 10 years, that's when he's eligible. For
I would.
Crazy.
That's something that I think I would contemplate if he wants to make sure that if he fears getting hurt in some capacity. I mean, really, what would happen? What would have to happen? We saw Paul George at the Olympics turn his foot into a fishing hook, a human fishing hook, and no one even remembers that. So something catastrophic would have to happen for Luka.
It's 10 years of service. 10 years of service. That those contract extensions.
So yeah. So my advice to Luka would be to sign a 2+1 after the 2 years, opt out for the third, and then sign an extension for 5 years for $418. That would be more than the money he would have gotten in Dallas. And as far as Luka's prime, Thameless, Luka's prime and Luka's game will go hand in hand because the athleticism is not necessary. He's not a high flyer. He's not going to be in a position to get hurt like Anthony Davis would. Anthony Davis at 31 is different than Luka at 31. Anthony Davis needs to be able to jump like a deer, or not run like a deer, and also jump like a high jumper. You need him to do that to be effective at his highest points. But he's already on the way down. And I'm not saying that to be derogatory. It's just he's been in the league since he's been 19. He's had a lot of wear and tear, and he'll probably play 3 or 4 more years, but it won't be AD at 28. Luka at 26 very well could play like Luka at 26 at 31. It's not out of the realm. He could do the same because he loves basketball. That's a very important thing. He does love basketball, and he's probably going to get better, especially with what the Lakers will be putting together for him. Not everything will be all on Luka. If Luka had a second guy, and I know a lot of people are talking about Kyrie Irving, and I think Luka needs a wing. I think he needs a Giannis to really balance out the team that would be essential for him. Not another backcourt guy. I think and
you mentioned that on playback, Joe, about Giannis. I heard that conversation.
Yeah, and if you
downhill,
you think he'll still be able to play at elite level when he becomes a free agent at the age?
If you watch Giannis play, yes, a lot of his game is athletically inclined, but he is so freakishly tall. He doesn't have to Vince Carter it. It's just like it's almost like he's playing with children. Does he? Yeah, he's playing with it's like he's playing with children. He could just one step here, there, because his legs are so long and his stride is so long. He could just lay it up. So now imagine that paint, because he's never had that. Giannis has never really had another guard. I'm sorry to say, Dame just was a little too late, right? If it had maybe been Dame 5 years earlier and he liked being in Milwaukee, it might have been a different story. But having Luka there in his prime, in shape, and then you have a 31-year-old Giannis, I just think you're screwed beyond. The pick and roll between those guys is going to be ridiculous. Now, I haven't mentioned Jokic. The best package would be Jokic, but I can't see that happening.
I can't see him turning down $80 more million next year, Joe.
I don't see it happening. I mean, that would be so devastating for the league in terms of a competition, like having Jokic at center and you have this guy at the 1. That's like Shaq and Kobe, but European.
But what if he does? What if he does, guys? What if Jokic does turn down the extension offer next year, which is $80 million more than what he was offered, or what he could have been offered, what he turned down last week? So that would be. It wouldn't. Then eyes would be like, "Ooh, really?"
Yeah. I tell you what, though, Joe, some of the money that is coming into the NBA right now is just. Didn't Devin Booker sign a 142 million?
It's 140 or 150. I thought it was 75 million a year per.
Yeah, for 2 years. Far out, man. They've got
That's for a team that's going nowhere. That's for a team.
I know.
in the second tax apron.
They've got to get that right,
Going
Joel. Though
nowhere.
you can't have these
It was
players earning
145.
145
145,
for 2
okay.
years, $70 million for a player, man. That's
Well, the
I don't
second
know,
year
man.
is 75, but yeah, right. Yeah, it's just
Far
it's
out.
just that's just
72.5
insane.
mil on the average per year.
That's
just
insane.
insane. And they're only going to get bigger, guys. I like the one if Jokic signs next year to an agreement, guys, that could be 80. I forgot the numbers. If it's $80 more million than what was offered this year,
That's
it would
laughable,
pop
man.
out 80
Sorry.
plus.
Devin Booker's a great player, but there's no way that guy's is $70 million. I mean, he is in this market. You know, he deserves to get paid the most, but far out. How far does it go?
I think Ishbia did it because he needed him to be committed to Phoenix.
Gotcha. To have like a face.
Otherwise, he'd be complaining and going, "Trade me somewhere." I think by giving him that money, he essentially tells Booker, "Look, here's this money. You're getting paid more than anybody in the history of the NBA. Please, can you wait a little bit so I can build this thing?" I think that's what it was.
Okay. Makes sense.
That's my guess.
You've got to get to the point where I worry about it is the players are earning so much at how they're going to listen to coaches and stuff like that. That's where, the team aspect of this really worries me. But anyway, we'll see what happens. Yeah, there's just so much money in it. But no man deserves that kind of money per year, let's be honest.
Legend, 27-28, Curry becomes a free agent. He'll be his 39-year season. Do you think he'll play that long? And how much do you think he will get? Because he will be eligible, just like LeBron at that age, like a 1+1. But that could total out to be, I don't know, what could you say, $80 million? Although LeBron's 50, it was 50 some odd. Could it be? I don't know what the parameters for a guy that age, his tenure in the service, maybe same team. I don't know what that equates out to, but that could be a lot of money that you might have to be on the hook for at the end of his career.
I wouldn't be surprised if the organization did it just out of loyalty that you've been there the entire time. I just can't see that man playing in no other jersey but Golden State at this point. I think that's how it's going to pretty much end. So they're going to probably in the least discussion on how to at least pay him what he deserves, but at the same time try not to put the team in a tough spot where he can't do nothing. So I think he'll probably go out a lot better than how LeBron he's been head out.
I think GS is waiting for Giannis to demand a trade so that they go after him.
That's what I'm thinking they're doing too. I think that's what they're waiting on.
Man, I'd hate to see Curry play on another team, man. Sorry, Gerald. I just hate
I was going to say Curry's 59.
Don't apologize to Gerald.
62. Oh, no worries.
Shut up, Joe.
Shut up, Joe. 59 and 62 in the next 2 years. So good money if you can get it. So
great money and man, great player. So yeah, I do hope he stays obviously in Golden State his whole career stuff. It's been pretty special to watch.
Legend of experiments. Will you shut up? Seriously. Enough. Every 5 seconds, he's doing this. This guy's doing that. You're just talking now out of your ass. Enough. We get the joke.
Well, Sports Baby, there are Lakers channels out there that in order to get their numbers, they go on for like 6-7 hours. I don't want to say any names, but they know who they are. They have to go on there for 6-7 hours. He said it. And it's just like, okay, you want to make sure you provide something.
I wish I didn't have a job. I could do that.
Yeah. Because when you do 25, 30,000 views, that's when you can do this for a living. When you're doing only 1,000.
What if I just had it what if I just press play while I'm working and just
that's
hey guys,
get a crowd.
I've seen some of these
you might get viral, man.
What they do. That's essentially what they do. But
there was a bloke that had like 1 million people watching him sleep at one stage. You remember that?
Yeah, I
Try
do.
that.
Yep. Let me go back into the Summer League real quick, though. Your observations so far, Legend. Let me go back on this because if you look at the player stats and who are the top scorers, it goes back again to the experienced guys. Filipowski had for both the Utah Summer League and here in Vegas. His first game here in Vegas, 32 points. Kobe Buffkin, who is also a tenured player, 29 points a game. Reed Shepherd, 28 points for him, looking more and more like he's going to be an integral part of Houston's future. I thought he looked good last summer, but it didn't equate out to a good season. So maybe it will do this time around. Ron Holland II, 28 points a game for him, 11 rebounds. These guys, again, at the top of the list, you see that they come in prepared, they know what to expect, and they're playing accordingly. The rookies that are coming in, like Cooper Flagg, list goes on and on. These, any of the guys, they're all going to struggle. I have no problems with that. It's those guys that are here for their second time around and are still struggling. The Dalton Knechts, the Bronny James. There are several others that are just not playing at the level they need to. So when you watch these guys in the summer league that you think should have already broken out by now and haven't, what does that tell you?
If you ain't at least starting to show flashes of what you should be going in the year 2, yeah, you might want to start waving that red flag. You in danger, because at that point, I don't know what to tell you. At that point, if you can't start picking it up, eventually you're gonna get cut loose. Eventually, you're gonna start losing less and less minutes, start being in the G League longer, and eventually they're gonna get the scissors and your time's up, cut you loose. That's a red flag.
And we've seen a legend. We've seen the games, Joe. We've seen the games, Mark, as far as Bronny. Again, after that first initial game, it's just not gone well for him. And CMB and others are still trying to defend it because of his last name. If his name was anything else other than Bronny James, Mark, it just would be, this wouldn't even be a discussion in his second year. I mean,
Bronny's not even good enough to play in Australia. Okay, I'm telling you right now, like, he's good enough to be in the Australian League off the bench. He wouldn't even start as a starter in the Australian NBL, man. So I don't know what we're expecting to see from this dude. Like, yeah, fine, he played okay for the first quarter, first seconds of the game 1, but he's not the future. He's not an answer. He's not going to be on our squad long term. I just look at it as a joke, to be honest. And like the whole summer league, it's like, okay, you're selling jerseys for us, Bronny, or whatever. For me, it's completely irrelevant, to be fair. I know, and it's a talking point, Gerald, and sorry to sort of cut that off or shorten it, but for me, Bronny James is a waste of breath, really. Like, I don't mind seeing him out there because it's a gimmick, in the summer league. But other than that, the guy's too small. He's not quick, can't defend, can't shoot, can't dunk, no awareness. Did you see that when he chucked up the in the first quarter the other day when he put up he sort of put up a floater? There was like 5 players around him. He's got no awareness, man. It's all sort of premeditated what he does. Sorry, it's not good enough, and he's not an NBA level player. Kudos to him. He seems like a really lovely young man and all that. I'll always say that. And he's under a lot more pressure than I will be in my lifetime. But yeah, man, like, no. And there's got to be self-awareness, and that's where LeBron lets himself down. And that's, LeBron's now turning 41. I believe LeBron possibly should have retired by now. No, he's dragged his son into the league. There's just no awareness by this family, man. And hopefully, we'll see the end of it soon enough. But Bronny James is not an NBA player. He's borderline a professional basketball player. So I don't know what more I can say about the guy.
He did better than Jello Ball. At least he lasts longer. You say that much.
He is okay. He played at a G League level last year. He played pretty good for a G League player. Problem is, Joe, there's a big leap between a G League player and an NBA player. That's why, you guys, Darius Baisley, the guys like Cole Swider, they look good in summer league right now because they've been around the block a few times, but get them on an NBA court with NBA players and it doesn't look as good as it does. But when it comes to Bronny, Joe, 36.5% from the field, 18.5% or 18.2% from 3. In his second year, he's got to be dominating these rookies. And Joe, it says a lot more. CMB, you guys just don't have an argument. When the guy is like, what, 3 for
He's screwing
40.
around, man. He's not really
3
doing
for
what he's
40
doing.
from the 3-point line in 2 seasons, in 2 summers. He's like 3 for 30, 3 for 40 or something like that. Some god-forsaken number from behind the arc. He has to shoot a lot from there, guys, because he's 6'2". He can't get around that many people. He can defend. I think Mark is a little bit wrong. I think he can defend a little bit better than what Mark thinks, but he just can't shoot, and he's not a point guard, Joe. So
Defend who?
really leave him.
Who would be able to defend if you really relied on him? We're not talking about second unit, third unit, fourth units in game 56 during the year where he might get a steal. I'm talking about the Jalen Williams guys. I'm talking about the SGA people. How is he going to guard those guys? Those guys would jump and nutsack him without even thinking he's there.
Bronny was guarding Flag, but Flag did a turnaround jumper. One of the few jumpers he made in his first game was on
guard.
Bronny's.
Any of you can guard Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant for 5 seconds. It's called just you're there. So what exactly are we talking about here?
Watch the game, CMB. Watch
the amount of time and the amount of time and thought over this is debilitating to intelligence. I would never talk about him if it wasn't for you guys asking these questions. I don't care about Bronny James. He is not an NBA player. He never will be. He's an NBA player because for some weird reason, people have allowed it to happen. But it's going to be rectified. It's going to be figured out here very, very soon. Just be a little patient.
Yeah, and regarding Cooper Flag, again,
think about this for a second too. Even Magic Johnson, you see, this is why. See, this is the problem here. I'm gonna paint it for you. Magic Johnson drafted Lonzo Ball, and the same guys that say that Jason Tatum in that same draft actually marked up higher in talent didn't get picked ahead of Lonzo Ball. Why? By guys named Magic Johnson. Who is more of a basketball savant on this planet? Magic Johnson. We love Magic. He is basketball. He is everything basketball. But he's basketball when he's playing basketball. Whenever he's not playing basketball, I'm sorry, guys. The proof is in the pudding. Muscala for Zubac. Yeah. Ball over Tatum. So now, if I criticize that, we criticize that, then the ones who are defensive about it, oh, who the hell are you, Mark from Australia? What do you know? I'm like, bitch, did you see what happened? Has nothing to do with if it's Mark from Australia. It was a shitty trade. It was a shitty draft pick. It has nothing to do with us. We're assessing what went wrong. And sometimes we can assess it before so that we're not those guys that, oh, we're only going to criticize you when you do shit wrong. No. Go back to the draft a year ago. 2 years ago. Sorry. You saw what happened. I'm not going to bring all the details up.
Yes, I did question Scottie Pippen Jr. I did not think he was a player in the league, going to be a player in the league. He was terrible for the Lakers in those exhibition games. And you know this, CMB. He was absolutely terrible. He was reckless, turnovers, couldn't shoot, couldn't do anything. But he is a pure point guard, and he, going on Memphis, he built his game in the G League, got his opportunity in Memphis. He became a good shooter, a decent shooter. He became a good facilitator, more under control. He became a good scorer, which is what we saw against OKC. He was the only shining light for Memphis in that drubbing they got from OKC. So he improved his game when he left the Lakers to the point where he became a full-fledged NBA player. I said on the show and said many times, I was wrong on Scottie Pippen Jr., but he was terrible, absolutely terrible for the Los Angeles Lakers in those exhibition games when he got his chance to play in training camp. He is making the most of his second opportunity. He worked hard to build on this game, so he gets all the credit in the world. Bronny has not done that. We are not seeing, however hard he works, Joe, we have not seen the fruits of that labor as of yet.
Deep in the archives, I remember talking about this, and I remember saying, if Scottie Pippen doesn't have that next level speed to get to the basket, doesn't shoot particularly well. However, I remember saying this: if he does develop those, at least a shot, he'll have a shot. He had talent. He had talent. But I didn't think it would work in LA if he didn't develop those things, and he didn't. He ended up leaving.
But he worked hard, Joe.
Yes,
and it's paid
even
off.
Still, even during that time when you're like, we never said this guy's not an NBA player. He had a potential of being an NBA player. He just needed to work on the deficiencies.
Player, but
I don't see. No, I had never said that he would. I just said it probably won't work in LA. How it turned out in Memphis, you got to look at this from a mental standpoint too. You guys, we're talking about Dalton Knecht and him being still kind of off kilter from the possible veto, right? The veto trade that had him going to Charlotte, and it's still affecting him. Scottie Pippen had some promise. You could see it if you watched enough, you could see it. But he still needed to get better. There is no way I've seen anything close with Bronny James like I saw with Scottie Pippen Jr. They're different players.
Yeah, they're different. I mean, first of all, Bronny is not a pure point guard.
I think you guys are comparing that because they're ex-star players. See, they don't do that.
No, don't do that. Don't. Bronny
different games
has yet to show improvement beyond his first season. Scottie Pippen Jr. went back to the G League, went back to work on his game, realized what he wasn't doing correctly and worked on it, and became the player you guys are talking about in the chat. And I give him all the credit for it. If Bronny does that, more power to him. But as of now, he is still terrible. Maybe it's Thomas and Mack rims. Maybe it's the rims at Thomas and Mack. Maybe it just does not work for him there. Maybe
it's still a short sample size for me with Scottie Pippen Jr., Gerald. And he also played well in. He played really well in losses too. So
Memphis liked it so much. Xbox.
I know.
They brought him Ty Jerome. They brought in Ty Jerome to go ahead. Yeah. So that one I can't figure out. I can't figure out.
Yeah, I don't know. He played it. Jeremy Lin also played well for 2 months too. So Scottie Pippen Jr.'s got to do it for a longer period of time. And shout out to him because he has taken, leaving the Lakers well, and he has developed his game. But for me, he's still also someone that's going to be in the league and not going to be on winning teams and just going to be collecting paychecks. So I'm not going to get caught up in Scottie Pippen Jr. I'm not going to get caught up on Bronny James.
I think he has a chance, though. That I've seen a lot. That OKC, did a lot for me with his play. But the problem is he going to get the opportunity now in Memphis now that they got Ty Jerome there as the backup point guard? Or will they play him alongside of him? Or what have you. But I think SPJ, given the opportunity now to see that his game has evolved, which hasn't evolved with Bronny yet, that I think SPJ does have a chance to make a good impression. He's got a 4-year contract, so hopefully he will.
Yeah. I felt like they're on different levels, just myself personally, Gerald, from a starting base. I think Bronny's it's more of a gimmick than anything. And
Bronny is not a point guard. He is a defending second guard, but the thing is, and you're saying like Lou Dort, in the shape of Lou Dort, could he be the next Lou Dort? Well, Lou Dort improved to the point where he became a good enough shooter to be effective out there, and obviously is one of the best defensive players in the league, which Bronny is neither as of this point. Legend, let me bring you back in here. It's from 805. Great. Thanks again for the super chat. Who are you taking the next 10 years? SGA, Edwards, or Flag? I'll ask all of you guys, but I'm going to start with you first, Legend. Next 10 years, SGA, Edwards, or Flag?
That's a tough one. I really about want to say I need to see how it's gonna play out. But if I was going off of this just right now, I'm gonna go with the proven track record right now. I'm gonna go with SGA just because it's proven right now. The safe bet. But over time, I gotta see everybody play though. I gotta see how everybody play out.
Joe, your thoughts? I agree with Legend. SGA is probably my pick to be at that level even 10 years from now, because that would make him 35, 36.
35.
Wemby.
Yeah. Well, no, he said between those three. Wemby's kind of like a 7'5", and that's
I don't care what
that's
he
a different conversation. SGA, Flag, and Edwards. So I know you've never been really
Wemby.
super high on Edwards yet.
Scottie Pippen Jr.
Way to answer the question.
I'll answer it.
What do you
Seriously,
think I'm going
if
to
you
say?
like.
What do you think I'm going to say? Cooper Flag?
Well,
I haven't
that's
seen him
what
play a damn minute.
I have seen Cooper play the last couple games with the dude. I don't know, Gerald. I mean, he's still pretty young and he is huge. So he's going to turn into a pretty good player for me.
Handles the
Um,
ball well.
If
Good vision.
Far
Luka
out, he
continues
does.
to look the way he looks right now, I don't know if you guys saw, he's in the
Yeah.
Philippines right now, and he was playing.
Yeah,
he
man.
took a picture with one of the Philippine players.
Or he'll
there.
take a picture with anybody right now just to
If
show
he
everyone
looks
how
like
good
that, this is not just one MVP. He's going to win several MVPs and titles. So, Luka Doncic, suck on it if you don't like it.
Okay, and that's the first thing I want to see, Gerald, is Luka getting an MVP for the Lakers. Because if that happens, man, we're right on track for the chip, baby. And that'd be awesome to see another Laker get a MVP in due course. And he's certainly got that potential. But yeah, wow, like Joe said, man, the guy looks, and it's rapid too. Like, the season just ended, and it felt like we started seeing pics even during the NBA playoffs of him losing weight, but it's happened quickly. He might have changed his diet. Sometimes when you see that rapid weight loss, it happened with LeBron a few years ago, where LeBron sort of downsized his body a bit when he went vegetarian and vegan. I wonder if he's done that. Be interesting to get a bit of insight from Luka, but the main thing is maintaining it. We've seen it with guys like Zion and stuff before. You can get super fit for a period of time, but then it's that maintenance of it. Hopefully Luka can do it. He's never been like that sort of. He's had thicker legs, but he's not like a thick-bodied dude, like say a Joker in Denver. He has been sort of really, really fit when he was at Real Madrid in his early days in Dallas. So hopefully he gets back to that, and it just adds something to his game. That's what I'm hoping. But man, honestly, I can't wait. We've got, obviously the Euro Championships where we get a bit of a sneak peek into how Luka's looking in late August. And then, our sort of preseason games and then our ultimate season in October. But I think we really need to focus on the fact that we do have one of the best three players in the league. He took us to a third position in, honestly, the most, tough circumstances that he could have been put in. His life ripped around. He bought a house 2 weeks before he got traded, man.
That's
like,
I know.
That was insane. Yeah, he was having a kid, all sorts of stuff. But now he seems to be really focused on the weight and things like that. So I just can't wait. I honestly can't wait. And I think we'd be really, underselling ourselves, Gerald, if we get too upset this off season with what the Lakers are doing. I think we've got to back them a bit more than that because.
Well, let me ask you this: Would you be mad? Would you be mad if he has an MVP season and in the playoffs you feel like there's just not enough around him to get it all done? And
of course, absolutely.
That brings me to my original point. So
yeah,
but I don't want to
but
go
if he's MVP, Gerald, he can carry the team. And I keep getting told, and I'll say this, and I've said this too much today, but I keep getting told LeBron's one of the 10 best players in the league, even 8, 6, 5 best players in the league. If that's the case, you've got to make it work, man. And I'm sorry, we've still got a good team. we matched up poorly against OKC, against Minnesota. We've sort of, we've overcome that a little bit with Ayton. Yeah, we lost DFS, but at the same time, DFS is just a very serviceable player that you can replace. So I don't know, man. We got to stick fat with Luka and what they're doing, and not as a fan base just completely like, people are over here that you want Rob to have done this and this, that, the other. Let's get behind the boys and be positive, man. We haven't seen
I gotta tell you real. I always have to tell you.
I know,
real.
but I want you to be a bit more positive, Gerald.
No, I'm not a cheerleader and I'm not a hater. I tell you,
I'm a cheerleader, damn.
Like I see it. So that's what I'm.
Fair call.
We're gonna change.
You're very knowledgeable, Gerald, and we respect that.
I appreciate that, Mark. Always, my friend. Joe, I remember Circuit Cities. By the way, that was in the chat. I remember them being very red and being very dark when you went in there, and I'm just like,
it's like me in the summer. Exactly.
There you go. Red and dark, indeed. But Joe, according to CMB, why do you hate Bronny? I don't. You've never said this. Is like goes back to the Westbrook thing. We never hated Westbrook the person. We just hated the idea of having Westbrook on the team, and I think that just is the same here, Joe.
If I go deep into this, it's just gonna veer the show off. I just don't want.
Well, we got a half hour at least.
No, I got. It's time to check out here. I don't care to. I don't want. I don't care to talk about him. It's irrelevant to progress. He's not going to help the Lakers win championships. So I don't give a shit. It's a novelty thing. That's just not very novelty-like for me. I don't want my team to have somebody on the team just because somebody else said, "Hey, put them on there." This is sports, man. This is a professional sport. This has gone way too long.
Legend, let me bring it to you, my friend. You've been asked a question.
This isn't Marvin Harrison Jr. Okay, it's not about father son. Is he talented enough? Yeah, good. If he was talented enough,
really good this season.
And the thing that pissed me off last year was they could have got him without wasting a draft pick, but they wanted the novelty of it, right? Yep. They could have signed him as a free agent.
They could have gotten Porty from.
Why didn't you go draft someone that was of the 55th pick? And then you could have got both, but they didn't because it's a fucking charade. That's what pisses me off. You could have still got him and not drafted him and gotten another player that maybe would have helped you.
Again, I'm watching and keeping my eye on Porty from the Knicks, who was signed on for another year with the Knicks. He's playing in the Summer League now. Athletic, 7-foot big guy. Would have been nice on the Lakers. He was there, available, when the Lakers drafted Bronny, because he was drafted right after Bronny. So just keeping that in mind for everyone out there.
I hate Westbrook. He looks stupid and plays stupid.
it just was a terrible fit from the get-go.
What did he say on Kimmel's show? Somebody said he looked like Franklin the Turtle.
Really?
That was funny. I didn't know who the hell Franklin the Turtle was. I had to go look. I'm like, it does look like it.
So Legend. I want you to answer Div's question that he had for you, my friend. And once again, it's the Lakers. No, Legend. Div had a question for Legend. So let's say everything falls into place and Curry leads them to the promised land this next season, which, like the Lakers, I'm going to say it's going to be a hard thing to do with the current rosters for both the Lakers and the Golden State Warriors. Didn't say impossible. Both are good teams. It's just going to be very hard. But let's say that happens for Curry. Jiv is asking, will that, in your mind, put Curry above LeBron?
As a winner, I would say yes. You have 5, you have 4. He passed you. I would say he's a better winner. Overall player, I can't deny it. I have to get it. LeBron. He's been the overall better player for decades now at this point. But winner-wise, he's a better winner. I can't ignore them losses in the finals.
I think even Joe, even Mark. Let's put it this way. I'll give it to you, Mark, first, and thank you, Legend, for saying that. Because that's always the comparison. Even if LeBron continues to chase and goes ring chasing, even after he leaves the Lakers, he's always chasing Jordan. And even if he catches up to Jordan in championships, he'll still have.
That's why he's not the GOAT.
Yeah. Tell that to John. Tell that to John, my friend. Tell that to John. Yes, I got to bring John. He's busy in the off season. He's been doing a lot of things in the summer. He said he's going to try and come back on once the season starts, but it's going to be tough for him for the summer months because he's getting a lot of stuff done. So I respect him on that. But let's just say he gets to 6. He's still got those 4 losses. Still, with a lot of people's eyes, that won't be enough to get him past the ghost.
And the 8 points he had in the Maverick series.
Yeah. Look, I mean, but 6 changes the conversation.
Wait, what are you talking about?
We're talking about the GOAT combo. We're not going to go.
We're talking about the GOAT combo. Let's say LeBron somehow magically gets to 6 before he retires, Joe.
LeBron lost 6, not 4.
No, win.
Yeah.
Win. Let's say he gets to 6 rings like Jordan.
Well, but I mean,
will
look,
that surpass him in your eyes?
No, and it becomes a different debate, obviously, and you have a more favorable look.
You have an argument now.
Yeah, where right now you don't, because no one can tell me that a dude that has played 21, 22 seasons and won 4 chips can compare to a guy that played 13, 14 and won 6 and 2 3-peats with the same team. And then I'm not even talking about guys like Kobe. I'm not even bringing up Tim Duncan. I'm not bringing up anyone else that you could potentially bring into the conversation. LeBron aesthetically has been a brilliant player. And, man, I'm the same age as LeBron. Exactly the same age. I've followed his whole career, and it's brilliant. But winning, man, I don't know about you guys, but sport's all about winning. Do you know what I mean? Like, if the guy had won 7 chips, you're the GOAT.
So even if he wins 7 chips, but he still has those 4 losses.
Of course you're the GOAT, Gerald. 7 chips? That's insane. Like, but he hasn't, Gerald. He's got 4. He doesn't even have 5, the same as Magic, the same as Kobe. You got Steph, who's got 4 in the same era.
But Bill Russell has how many?
Nah. Okay. I'll let Joe cook. This is my opinion. It's not
okay. No.
At the end of the day, LeBron James is a great player. He's the best player of this generation. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, but he's not the greatest player of all time, and we've got the benefit of saying that because we've seen it. I'm 40 years old. Legend's seen it. Legend, you're not as old as me. I can tell. Joe and Gerald, we've seen Michael play.
I wish I was as old as you, Mark.
Well, you're not that old. You're not much older, Gerald, but you saw Jordan play. But either way, like I said this to Joe today, it's going to be hard for a guy like John Costa to really think that Jordan is the GOAT because he didn't see him play. And I said that about Messi and Maradona. I didn't see Maradona play. So if someone tells me Maradona's the GOAT, Pele's the GOAT, I can't argue. I didn't see them play. I saw Messi play, and he's my GOAT. And that's where the James fans really get caught up. At the end of the day, if you're going to go and say he's the GOAT, say it, but preface it on the basis that you didn't see these other guys play. And that's it. We'll all move forward. But you can't argue with chips, man. I don't know. We've all played sport, team sport. And if you don't win, there's no point. So 6 chips, and that's it. Jordan, rightfully or wrongfully, he's the GOAT right now. If someone gets to 7 chips, 8 chips, well, we'll start talking about it.
Well, I mean, but Russell had 11, so that's
yeah, but it's not the same. Like, again, Gerald, someone might tell me that Bill Russell's the GOAT, and I'll go with it. I didn't see him play. I can only talk about who I've seen, and Jordan's my GOAT. I'd love it to be Kobe, but Jordan's my GOAT, man. The dude was insane.
I absolutely respect your opinion. I'm just stating because that's what the chat is also echoing as well. That's what I'm saying. But
yeah, he was much watched, and he transcended the sport too, man.
You remember that scene? You guys watch Fargo, the movie?
I have.
Do you remember the scene with when he's the guy that's buying the car for 19.5 is yelling at Macy? That's how I feel. I'm like, I'm that guy yelling at Macy. You just told me what you just called me and made this shirt. Like, what? Why am I paying more?
So let me ask you this, Joe. If let's just say LeBron wins a championship with the Lakers now, he wins another championship and then wins another championship. He gets to 7. Does that change anything? Does John Costa call you on the phone and you say, you know what, John, I think you're right? Or does the 4 losses matter?
I think I'm done with hypotheticals.
Okay.
First of all, he's not going to win 3 more championships. He'd be lucky to win 1 more, and that a miracle needs to happen for that. There's no
dreams to get 3.
He had his chance. He had his chance to win 3 titles in LA. Didn't work out. He should have won 3. He had Anthony freaking Davis coming into his prime. Won 1, and it not all his fault, but his inability to the LeBron. The difference between LeBron and the other greats is LeBron has less of coming through when it matters than those guys. Those guys came through so many times with little failure. LeBron is more known for his failures than his wins. Whereas everyone, Kobe, Magic, Jordan, Bill Russell, LeBron is a lot like Wilt Chamberlain. Wilt Chamberlain is really more known for his mess ups than his successes, because you have a guy that played 14 seasons who was a freakish athlete, still was. Still is in a lot of people's assessments. But you can't be that dominant and win only 2 championships in 6 opportunities in the title game. You can't. It doesn't look good. Shaquille O'Neal. How different would Shaquille O'Neal's career have been had he gone 6-0 in the finals? He was favored in both those finals that he lost. If Shaq goes 6-0, that means he would have won 3 championships with 3 different teams like LeBron, and would have gone undefeated 6-0. He would have had 100% argument, 100% argument that he'd be the best center of all time.
So let's just say he ties Jordan by the end of his career. The 4 behind the 6 and 4, still the 4, that number 4 of 4 losses.
Is he the man? Is he the man, or is he just going to Golden State and winning with Curry?
Or right, is he number 2 behind Luka in doing so? That's another good.
Well, question. Number 2, that's not. I'm talking about Bob McAdoo type winning a championship. Okay. Not number 2. Number 2, you're still a big part of that title.
Okay. Yeah. Just saying. Intel Wild said, I'm not saying we would have won, but the Lakers would have matched up better against OKC than Minnesota. Well, you're right. Okay. Lakers, when they did the baseball thing where they stayed over in OKC over a 3-day period and played 2 home games in OKC late in the season against an OKC that was still trying. They did beat them twice in a row. It's all about matchups in the playoffs, guys. And Legend, let me bring it back in here. It's all about It's all about matchups in the playoffs. It may not be where the Lakers or Golden State or Minnesota or OKC or Denver, Houston, where they're at. As we saw, it's about when they finish the regular season. It's about how are they in as far as their matchups against who they're matched up against. In the playoffs. Right now, is there a team that's projected to be above you guys at Golden State? And we're focusing on your Golden State. Atlanta, they're a nice young team that could be doing a lot. They could surprise everyone and be like 2 or 3 in the East. And then if it all goes awry and everybody gets injured, it could go, not so great in Atlanta, but they've still got a bright future there. Golden State, if everything worked out well and everything works out as projected, who do you think is a good matchup for Golden State right now? Right now.
I would still take Minnesota again, being healthy this time at least. I think.
You think Golden State's a good matchup for Minnesota? You think that they just? How so?
I look at how, even though we lost in 5, I look at the fact that a lot of them games we were pretty much in it without stuff being there and having a Jimmy Butler that really didn't play that well. And that's the part I look at as a positive coming out of that series, knowing that I feel like we could have beat you if we had stuff.
And Minnesota's bench did get, well, conceivably shorter, but if Dillingham and Shannon do start playing well, that helps the things out. But losing Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Joe, that could be a big difference for them. That could be something where if Shannon, Dillingham, Conley, any of those guys get hurt, that could be a problem for them. Or DiVincenzo gets hurt because they're not as deep as they were the previous season if those young guys, those 2 young guys, don't pan out, Joe.
The deadbeat needs to get better. He's supposed to be an MVP too.
Yeah.
So improve your game.
And if he can, that'll be
keep that guy away from
right
LA,
up
by
there.
The way.
Oh man,
there's been some talk
he's
about.
He's already had 11
LA.
kids.
I'm like, keep that piece of shit away from the Lakers, please.
Yeah,
He
they were bragging about it the other day.
And you're right.
I know. He's crazy, man.
That's
a scumbag.
Yes.
Yeah, it's great to watch, but I agree with Joe.
I don't like his game either. I think his game.
I don't mind his dunking. Sorry, I should say. When I say great to watch, it's great. His highlights are good to watch. But yeah, I don't want him anywhere near LA as well. And just quickly, Joe, the one Houston. I don't know, man. I still think that we're overrating them. I know they were great in the regular season, but where Legend thinks Golden State will match up well against Minnesota, they knocked them out. Golden State knocked Houston out, the 2nd seed. So Houston's got a lot of improvement to make before they're a championship contender as far as I'm concerned. And Kevin Durant wasn't enough for me, just personally. And I'm someone that tracks Houston pretty closely. I used to follow them growing up as a Hakeem fan. So they've got a soft spot in my heart. But I just don't think players like Van Fleet and that are enough right now, personally, and I'm not worried by them. So we'll see. I could be very wrong. Şengün's a great player, but yeah. Thanks for having me on, Gerald, and shout out to Jeremy, who's rocked up after a few weeks. Jeremy's
calling you the GOAT, man. The GOAT from all the Aussies.
GOAT.
And you're right, SB. I get my 4 or my 6 picks. He's lost 6 times in the NBA Finals. LeBron has
and
won 4. So yes, you are correct. My apologies on that.
Crazy, he's lost 6 times. Man.
Yeah. So again, and you want to make him the GOAT. That's the number that sticks out is the six losses in the finals.
That's laughable.
When John,
when that's not why. That's not why.
To me,
no,
to me that's why. To me, that's why, Joe.
No,
to me, that's
some
why.
of those
weren't.
To
me, that's why.
Some of those, 3 of those was not likely he was going to win. 07 was. He had no business. Cleveland had no business in the finals. 2017 and 2018. If Durant doesn't go to Golden State, LeBron at least wins 1 more there. At least, probably both. So there's a difference. However, LeBron's 11 and 14. No bueno. And then his losses outside the finals too are a lot of ways more of a detriment.
Again, I'll let you and John have that discussion.
I'm not going to have that discussion. I'm done with this discussion.
I do got to say, though,
done with this.
That you had a lot of different Hall of Famers winning your era, too. You had a lot of people winning your era.
And again, LeBron is one of the greatest players in the history of this game. Anybody who says otherwise, whatever LeBron hater that says out there that he isn't is absolutely they're just trolling. Because they know he is absolutely one of the greatest. This is not a
LeBron fan issue. It's LeBron. LeBron is the one that brings this shit up because the guy has a massive inferiority complex, even despite all this stuff that he's accomplished. He wants to be told how great he is. The guy is a quintessential. There's 2 levels of narcissism. 2 levels. Really bad levels. Number one that end up being serial killers, and the other one that end up being a cancer to relationships. And that's who he is.
It's
Maybe
just
not
the passive aggressiveness.
thank God. He's a good. Looks like he's a good family man. Congratulations. But everything else, if you look at his track record, he takes a shit everywhere he leaves and lets somebody else clean it.
It's just I can't. It's so hard to defend him because it gets so tiring when he does all this stuff. Like today with Rich Paul and him and what he said to Dave McMenamin and what Rich Paul said to Dave McMenamin. It just gets old. It gets all this noise. It doesn't need to happen. It just be direct. Say you want to leave or you don't. It's just
and all you got to do, if you want more proof, all you got to do is look at the 04 Olympic team, the 06 World Championship team. It wasn't until Kobe came and saved everyone's ass in 08.
Redeem team, baby.
Okay.
Redeem team.
Kobe never
Sick
lost.
doco.
Kobe never lost. Played 30 international games with 30-0.
I want to go ahead and just touch on some of the things that the chats are saying. Chat, you've been great tonight. Truly appreciate it. Whether you hate us or love us, you guys have been great in the chat.
Actually, it's funny you say that. You should have seen one of my secondary suppliers. She was actually, you would have liked her. You would have liked her, Mark. She's actually Latinas usually have a little bit of an attitude, but this one's one of those that
you've got my number,
sweetheart.
Yes.
You just pass
Mark. Yes,
anytime.
Send the Mark. There you go. 805 says
I'll send you your Instagram.
There you go.
Hook it up, man.
Chad has said that LeBron got disrespected on his way out. I mean, if you're saying way out from the Lakers, 52.3 million reasons why he didn't get disrespected on the way
by who?
out.
By Cleveland?
Or by
he's talking about
now. They're
now.
saying the Lakers. I'm assuming they're saying the Lakers.
So let me ask you how.
That's crazy.
Maybe my definition of disrespect is different from most. Do you know how much money after this opt-in? You know how much money the Lakers have paid LeBron for 8 years of service? $243 million. Is that called disrespect now? How many people out there? Let's do it. Let's do a little toll. One of those things that you do over there. The polls. There you go. I pay you $243 million for 8 years. Are you disrespected? Do you feel disrespected? You tell me. Go look in the mirror and ask yourself that. Legend, if I gave you $243 million for 8 years, would you say that I disrespected you?
Hell no, I'd be dancing running to the bank, celebrate.
Mark?
If you draft my son as well, definitely not.
I mean, if that's disrespect,
yeah,
then society's in an area much worse than I thought. And I already know you pansy-ass, pussy-ass bitches are already bad.
Intel Wild said, and thank you again for the super chat for everyone that's been given it. 805, Intel, and 24. Thank you again. Truly kind to each and every one of you. Russell had a much better team. Yeah, he did. Heck, Robert Horry had 7 rings. Is he better than Jordan, Kobe, and LeBron? I understand. I don't think literally 100% Mark was saying that with the most rings is the best player, but
no. Robert Horry wasn't the main player.
Yeah.
Like if it was Kobe with 7 rings, then I'd be saying Kobe was the GOAT.
Because Kobe was the integral part of that.
Yes.
As far as one of the main reasons why. Or a great player.
I think we should talk about that. We're wasting our time talking about LeBron. And LeBron will never, he could win 10 more championships. Really, in reality, he'll never be a better player than Michael. Michael didn't have a weakness. Never. Has 0 weaknesses. So what we need to talk about really is What the hell has Tracy McGrady been sipping?
Yeah.
This
Boy, he been
motherfucker
sipping
had
crazy.
how many years to get out of the first round? And he had the gall. And even if he maybe got misinterpreted, because that's what they always say, right? When they get called out. You couldn't even get out of the first round with Yao Ming on your team and Shane Battier and all these guys. You're telling me you put Kobe on that Houston team? He ain't getting out of the first round at least? Come on. No one except maybe AI. Maybe AI wins a title with Shaq in that three-peat run. Only him. Yeah. Anyone else? Vince Carter, Tracy McGrady, Gilbert Arenas. None of those assholes would have won one single title in 2000, 2001, and 2002. None.
Well said.
Scotty Snatcher has a comment. Denver is worse. Houston is worse. How can you have
Snatcher?
Yes. You have no faith in us winning a championship, Joe and Gerald. We have Ayton. We have LaRavia. We have prime Luka healthy. First off,
that guy's pulling literal shit out of his ass and just
Scotty snatches souls. Okay, these are some great names.
You want me to be confident about LaRavia? What do you seriously?
Let's start with Houston. Let's start with Denver.
Cyanide and about to die while you're saying this.
Let's point out the facts, guys. Okay, let's point out the facts. The fact is Denver traded Michael Porter Jr. Got back, what's the kid from Brooklyn that they got back?
Cam Johnson.
Cam Johnson.
Yeah,
got him back for half the price for a better player at this stage of their careers. Cam Johnson is a better player than Michael Porter Jr., and you got him for literally half the price. And in doing so, I think he is. I'm sorry, Michael Porter Jr. is not as good defensive
player.
What? Salary wise, he is half.
Okay, sorry. Salary. Yeah, I don't know, man. Did you Johnson?
Cam Johnson is a better player for half the price. Literally,
goes missing. Sorry.
Cam Johnson's a better player than Michael Porter Jr. You got him at half the price. You don't think so?
No, personally, I don't. And Cam Johnson's a player that flourishes in losing teams, and you get 45 points out of him when you lose by 50 points. I watched a lot of.
But he helped his team get to the finals with Phoenix.
I don't know, Joe. Just on the surface of it, you might think that trade was good, and I don't. And I keep.
It also freed up cap space to sign 3 NBA veterans to a bench that was very bad last season.
Yeah, the trade overall, yes. When you take into the Valanciunas factor. And Bruce Brown rocking up there as well. They have gotten stronger, but
Tim Hardaway Jr. as well.
Tim Hardaway Jr. Yeah, but these guys don't play in finals, man, and they go missing in finals. Like, I mean, he has Hardaway.
Bruce Brown didn't go missing in his final.
No, he didn't. But okay, great, good for you, Denver. But we're still better than you because we got Luka, and we traded for Ayton. Man, we're underselling the Ayton trade. Ayton could have gone anywhere.
Hold on, I'm gonna get to that in a second. So let's go to Houston. Let's go to Houston. They get for a team that struggled so mightily in the half-court offense.
Yeah,
the thing they needed was a consistent shooter from the outside, and they got one of the greatest of all time, statistically, in Kevin Durant for a young but very inconsistent player in the playoffs, as we saw in Jalen Green and Dylan Brooks. I think he's still mentally shot after what LeBron did to him 3 seasons ago, in that playoffs run. But okay, so you got Houston, I believe, with the additions of DFS, Clint Capella. I think they're a better team than what they were last season.
I think
now the Lakers.
Maybe there's a scope to have a show, Gerald, on that, the new squads versus the old squads. But I'm telling you, just my opinion, Gerald, I still think we're better because of one man, Luka Doncic. A fit, firing Luka Doncic is way better than these teams, man.
Now Ayton, who has run out himself out of not one, but two teams. Two teams liked him
Very
so much
skeptical
that
about
they
him.
wanted to run him out of town. Now, he is on a very cheap contract for a guy that is a former number one draft pick. And it's a very low risk, potentially high reward for the Lakers. If he just does his average 15 and 10 that he's had over the course of his career, that provides a big boost for the Lakers. I will not tell you differently than that. Jake LaRavia, who coming into last season was actually so bad, just like JHS, that Memphis took away the final year option on him, making him an unrestricted free agent. He had played so bad up until last season that he had his fourth season option taken away by Memphis. He got the message. He played a lot better, substantially better last season. So we're basing his signing off of one good season, which you hope will take him even further going forward after a really good season when he needed it the most. You're hoping that also as well, DeAndre Ayton does the same thing on a very, very team-friendly contract. But that's two additions to a team that lost a DFS in their rotation, but did get the center that they need in DeAndre Ayton. So you could say that this team did better around the fringes. Do they still need more? Yes. In a playoff matchup, we saw that they need more. Will they get it by that time? We'll see. If the Lakers are in second or third place in the Western Conference or first place in the Western Conference, I think the issues of trades, will become more paramount. I think they will become more active if they think that this team is going to be good. If Luka is playing at an MVP level and they get to a team that looks like it's going to win 50 to 55 games, Mark, I agree with you. But if it's a team that's just 5 games over 500 around February or 7 games around 500, then the question becomes whether or not they want to commit now or free that cap money later, Mark. That's my argument.
No, you're right. It's always a great argument that you make. I'm just basic, I look at basketball possibly a little bit more simplistic than you guys, not having sort of grown up with the sport. For me, Luka, he was on track to be MVP last season before his injury and then getting traded to us. So if you can replicate that for us and you become the best player in the league, then your assets, we still got some very serviceable assets there, and you don't go 8, 9, 10 deep in playoffs anyway. So just in borderline isolation, Gerald, if I just look at the team right now, Luka, LeBron, Rui, AR, Ayton, Gabe, and a couple of the other sort of bits and spurts that we can put in there, the 5, 6, 7 players isn't too bad, man. And I think we can compete with anyone if Ayton's got his mind switched on. So I just think we've got to give Luka a bit more time, and I'll keep harping on about it. What Joe says is correct. Not blow it all up right now, which could hamstring our future. We've got to get this next little period right, and we've got enough to win now with this team. Keep getting told LeBron James is a top 10 player in the league. That means we've got 2 of the top 10 players in the league. You've got to get it done if that's the case, man, with whatever's around you, man. Okay? And there's still very serviceable players around them. Reeves is good, man. Rui's good. Ayton's great. Let's be positive, guys. Let's not go down this this hole that we keep going down as Laker fans. That's always negative. We've got to trade this, trade that. My preference is to ride it out a bit longer, see what these boys can conjure up. And if not, naturally, we're going to be trading in years to come anyway, because guys like LeBron are moving on. Man, I can't wait. I just cannot wait to see Luka start playing again in a Laker uniform. That's all I'm thinking about, man.
And Legend, let me bring it back to you before we head on out, guys. I want to hear last thoughts from each and every one of you on this. Again, Mark, and God bless him. He deserves every right to say that the Lakers being being very positive about the Lakers. I'm more realistic on what the Lakers can and cannot do, seeing what the parameters are for this season. But
So you basically
again,
just shit on Mark. Good job.
I'm going to think of different.
By the way, I respect you, Mark, but everything I said is.
Yeah.
Hey, if the Lakers are in a position to win, that could change.
I'll be
Mark.
proven
If
right.
they're in a position,
Mark,
to win,
thanks for your opinion, but I hope you did.
Shut up, Joe. Shut up, Joe. You crap on everybody, so don't even get me started.
Crap on Mark.
Let me ask you this.
Hell no. We're broke.
Well, I've heard you crap on Mark. Yes, I've heard you.
No, you
Nah,
haven't.
that's
liar.
not true.
Yeah, I've just had to go for the WhatsApp chat.
Yeah,
for that.
right.
I've just
No,
had to
don't
go.
lie.
If I looked at those hundreds of thousands of lines and insults between you and Sean,
I've only insulted
Mark
you.
and SB,
That's
if I just go through that, I will see something there that says that you pooped on Mark at one point.
No, I never have.
No.
I could probably
we've got
find
a
something.
special relationship.
you're
I
shit
could
up,
run.
man.
You gotta, yeah, I'm sure.
You're like
you got
that.
it.
You're
Well,
like, what is
how
that guy's name? What is his
How
name?
special is
That's you now.
that relationship? Actually, maybe I don't want to know
What is
that
it,
answer. But
Schmuckies?
Legend, let
What
me
is
bring it back to you, my friend.
Schmucks.
We haven't even talked about the Clippers. We haven't talked
What is it
about
called?
Dallas. We haven't talked about Golden State, Minnesota.
Smokehouse?
Those teams
What is it?
are vying for a position somewhat like the Lakers, Denver, and Houston are, as well as trying to line themselves as competition to OKC. Could you foresee any of those teams taking that next step?
I could. It depends on what the Clippers do. They have done some good things. I want to see what happened with this Bradley Bill. I think they are projected to get him. See, they projected to sign him wise. See how that plays out. I think that'll be a good pickup for them. I'm not gonna count out Minnesota completely.
I think that Cole Anthony signing today
Mhm.
by Milwaukee cancels them out of a Bradley Beal signing. So I agree with you. If he does buy a butt out, he goes to the Clippers as their starting shooting guard.
And then Minnesota, I just can't count them out. The last 2 years, they keep getting back to the Western Conference Finals. It keep happening. So I wouldn't be surprised if they make some moves and improve themselves as well. And then after that, anybody else, I don't know for the Warriors. I can't say much for them right now. So I don't know right now for them. I'm disappointed in them right now.
Can I ask, what time is it for you boys? Is it midnight?
It's 2:00 in the morning for him. So if people thought,
wow.
give him a break.
Give
him a break. So it's 11 p.m. here for us on the West Coast.
Mad Dogs.
But
Great show, boys.
Yes, great show indeed. We did say we would stay on for Intel Wild till 11 p.m. Joe, you heard from Mark. You heard from Legend. Again, Legend, Mark bringing some great thoughts. You and I always go at it. So I don't
That doesn't make up for what you just said.
Go ahead and argue with Mark or argue with Legend.
That's all right. I got you going on.
And lying.
I disagree. I respectfully, in other words, Mark, I respectfully disagree with some of what you said.
Yeah.
That's probably the best way.
I cautiously, optimistically disagree.
It was a good point, Mark, but F yourself. No, at the end of the day, hey, we're all on camera, so we'll all be proven right, and we're all mates. So it's.
I hope and Joe and I always say if we predict the Lakers to be low for whatever reason, like last year, we always hope to be wrong. We always want the Lakers to exceed our expectations, just like Legend with
But when
Atlanta
are we wrong,
Golden State.
though? Really?
That's right.
We haven't
When
been
are we
a whole
wrong?
lot. No.
We talked about this 20. We talked about the 2027 setup in March, while everyone else was putting their thumb up their ass and mouth. Right?
I said it from day one on that Westbrook trade. I drove from LA to Las Vegas specifically to have a show that night, just so I could scream how bad a job Rob Pelinka did by signing or trading for Westbrook. And
LeBron fault.
Yeah. He could say no. He's the GM. Ultimately, that goes on his resume and not LeBron's. So,
man, YYC's just mentioned getting giddy. Don't get me started.
Yeah, what's the deal with Giddey? Because these restricted free agents, they're dragging these things out, Joe. Because it goes back to what Joe said. No, but Intel, we're gonna shut it down, my friend. As much as that's a tempting offer, I'm gonna have to shut it down because I know Joe, Legend, Mark, we're all gonna probably have to
maybe make it $1,000.
Yeah,
'Cause we're
no,
all
don't
worth
do
about
that. Don't Intel.
150 an hour.
Intel needs to save his money. But Joe, just before we head on out, I mean, it says a lot there when you talk about the CBA. There's still a lot of restricted free agents out there. It's something where both sides thought they were getting the deal that they were bargaining for, and in the end, it looks like the fans are the ones that are being shorted out.
Why?
Because you see, it's just so hard to be able to sustain good teams. In the case of these players right now, but the restricted free agents, Josh Giddey, Jonathan Kuminga. How long are these things how long are this drama for these guys going to pan themselves? These guys, this is their livelihood.
Restricted free agents are always takes a while to get those things going because the team is trying to figure out what the market is for those guys because they got to go, well, are we going to give these guys too much to where no one will match it? Restricted free agency is always like that. That's not anything new. And as far as teams worrying about being competitive, who? Orlando? Are you talking about Orlando? Are you talking about Minnesota coming back up? Do they really care in Minnesota? Do they really care in Orlando like they do in LA or the Knicks? Probably not. By the way, who gives a shit about Minnesota and Orlando? Does anybody even think about them? I know I don't. Charlotte. New Orleans needs to, maybe Joe Dumars can broker something to Seattle for New Orleans. Get that team out of New Orleans, for God's sakes. And then go talk to Charlotte and see if they can figure out what the hell they want to do over there. Maybe move them to Vegas.
Intel, I honestly, we can't. We got to shut it down. Man.
That's funny, man.
Going to midnight.
Young Africa.
Remember, guys, most people who say they don't care are full of shit. Except me.
Yeah, I can't do midnight. Sorry, Intel. I'm very
and I can prove it. I can prove it. You just got to hang out with me for a couple weeks.
That's not fair to Legend or Joe. Joe's got. Didn't you say you had to go, Joe?
Oh, I want to go. It's not that I have to. I don't have to do shit I don't want to do.
Yeah, me too, man.
One of the great things about being me is I can do whatever I want.
Man.
I guys want to go to midnight. We'll go to midnight. That's
we're talking about 3 hours here. I mean, I got a life too. I do things, Gerald. I don't sit around.
I know that, but they keep on.
Hey, Legend and
young Africa came out of nowhere telling me I've been wrong on LeBron James. I'm waiting for him to tell me where I was wrong.
How so? How's he telling you you're wrong, Joe?
I'm waiting. I'm waiting for him to say what.
Yeah. So he didn't give you any specifics.
Joe work harder than LeBron. That depends on the job.
Hell yeah.
I don't have $1 million to put into my health. If I did, Mr. Olympia, be scared.
But let me ask.
Working hard. Okay, here. I'm going to put this in perspective. Working hard. Okay. What is working hard? What's working hard these days, especially these days? Is it getting up in the morning and running for 3 hours? Is that working hard? How about if I go to work and I'm in my car and then I drive somewhere and I'm talking to people and I'm closing deals and then I'm going to go get lunch and then I go and talk to more people to close deals and then I go see my crew to see what's going on. Is that really working hard? What's working hard? To me, working hard is what used to be working hard, like working in the steel mills, picking fruit here outside where we're at, picking fruit. There's a grass location here where they make grass. Guys picking up that shit. Strawberries down the road. Or how about this? How about putting down pavers, heavy pavers in hot weather? That's working hard. I don't work hard. I organize that stuff. If I go to the gym for an hour and 20 minutes usually, let's say I work hard. I'm in there. I'm sweating. I'm tired when I leave. Yeah. But as far as working hard, dude, That's not how the world works anymore. You got to use this right here. It's about time. Now, if you called me and said, Joe, you'll make $100,000 a week working hard by moving pavers on your own, yeah, I'll do it. But I don't need to. I have somebody else do it, and I pay them. There you go. That's my my working hard comment of the night.
So, yeah, I like Young Africa's response.
Joe was wrong about LeBron not being the best all-around player of all time. Oh, my God.
Nah. Don't go. Don't do it, Joe.
Africa, there's nothing LeBron has done in his career that Michael Jordan couldn't do. And there's several things that LeBron couldn't do that Michael Jordan did. And I saw it with my own eyes. If you wanted, I think there was an 11-game stretch. This is, I think, 1989. I have to look back. And I'll get it too, by the way. I think he was playing point guard at that time. And again, at that time, the positions were set. Like, it was a point guard, scoring guard, small forward, power forward, center. Like, they were decided. It's not as free-flowing as it is now. I think Michael Jordan played point guard for like 11 games. He had, I think, 9 or 10 triple-doubles. This is back in the late 80s. Wait, hold on. Let me see what else is saying. Where is he? Joe is always right. Even when he's wrong, he is right. Jeremy, see, Australians just get me, dude. Australians have always got – this is before LFB.
So, I don't know, Legend, if you heard earlier today with LeBron, bringing it to skill keeping with LeBron, because he just seems to be the source, wants to be the source of talking points for everyone out there. When Dave McMenamin wanted to go ahead and ask him if he would like to go on air to talk about his future with the Lakers, he said, I ain't got nothing to talk about. And we also heard from Rich Paul today stating that 4 teams, if he asked for a trade today, 4 teams would want to trade for LeBron. One of them that if they were, I guess, exactly, we were trying to come up with the 4 teams who would spend $52.6 million in assets tomorrow to put a LeBron on their team. Golden State was probably, I think, Joe, wasn't Golden State was one of the 2, New York, Cleveland, Golden State. I know Golden State has flirted with LeBron before. A couple trade deadlines ago, they were trying to get him to come on the team and whatnot. What would you realistically think it would take if LeBron said tomorrow, yeah, I want to go to Golden State and work out a trade? A, what would you have to trade? And B, do you think it would be enough?
Well, from a Warriors standpoint, you got to give up a lot of them young pieces. I'm going to assume I know what you guys probably want. Give me all them good role players that you got.
Because the Lakers don't have to trade. Just because LeBron wants to trade doesn't mean the Lakers would want to trade.
True.
So, yeah, trading us Draymond Green doesn't do much for us, and Jimmy Butler doesn't do much for us.
Truthfully, me, I don't want him. I'm not gonna be honest. I don't want him. I don't even want to go down that rabbit hole. You keep that over there. I don't know. I'm good. But to me, if you're gonna go anywhere at this point, I feel like it just makes sense to go back to Cleveland and wrap it up. Do your goodbye tour and call it. That's to me what makes the most sense. If he
just
really
play
wants
out
to
the
move,
year and then go to Cleveland.
Yeah, just play out the year, go to Cleveland and take what you could. I know you guys do not want to keep running take him with you. And just wrap it up. To me, it just wouldn't make sense for Cleveland to do that because you got a pretty good team right now. You were on the verge of possibly making the final last year. You're gonna really give up all them young pieces for a man who might give you maybe 1 more year, or you get lucky maybe 2. I mean, that's kind of dumb to do a little bit when you really think about it, and risky as well. I wouldn't do it, but I mean, they might do it just because of the ties that between LeBron and Cleveland. But I don't know. I think it's just not the greatest idea. And plus, my thing with LeBron is you shouldn't be pouting this much, man. The Lakers gave a lot to you. They drafted your son. They took care of you financially. They done everything you asked. Fired all them coaches. swap players in and out. Did the Russell Westbrook
Vote
trade?
in.
You, Anthony Davis, y'all signed off on that part. They did everything you asked. You can't get mad at this point, man, that they want to move forward. It's business. Like, come on, man. It's being kind of selfish at that point. You're being kind of selfish at that point, man.
But
Hey,
Xbox,
I don't want Kaminga.
No,
you don't want
Yeah,
Kuminga?
sounds good to me.
but
No,
just
I don't want
also as
Kaminga.
well, do you guys ever like LeBron joining Steph, man? That would be a really big. I mean, he's already got some issues and
But
blights
that
on
would be
his
great for
career.
TV ratings.
Great for
Yeah,
TV,
TV will
but
love it.
honestly, joining your number one nemesis or however you say it at the end of
Look
your
bad.
career, man. Nah, I'm sorry, that'd be a joke. Like LeBron, even LeBron James couldn't want that to happen. I just never could see those two playing together. They played together for USA, and that's a memory that people can take. But they've been the greatest of rivals. You know, the two faces they're not rivals in terms of, playing on each other as such in terms of size and stuff, but they've been the two faces of the league for borderline 15 years now. What a disgrace if he actually joined him. Fine if Steph was forced out of Golden State and he joined LeBron, but for LeBron to go to Golden State, man, that'd be, yeah. I mean, the GOAT debate's just cooked if that goes out the window at that point, in my mind.
Joe, a few years ago, even with the Lakers earlier this decade, when LeBron now and then did kind of that passive aggressive stuff, I thought, okay, this is really going to be a distraction for the team. I think it's going to ultimately hurt the team and whatnot. But he's continued to do it over the course of years, and it just gets less and less effective over the course of time. I still call it a lot of white noise that doesn't need to be there. But at this point, I just think the Lakers just don't give it a matter of fact at all, Joe. I think Rob and Jeannie and Mark Walter and anybody else relating to this situation, I just think that they, at this point in time, they've heard it so much. It's, what's the adage as far as just the boy who cried wolf? It's just you do it so much that people just, at this point, they just tune it out, Joe. They just tune it out.
Who's tuning it out?
The people in El Segundo at the Lakers executive office, I'm assuming they're
Are they tuning it out, or they just don't know what the hell they're doing?
Well, maybe a little bit of both.
Yeah, I mean, tuning it out would mean somebody actually knows what to do, but they just like, kind of like how the chat right now are in denial still that LeBron is better than. I always hear the same response: LeBron's a better overall player than Michael Jordan. And then I send them a video of what Michael did when he played like LeBron, and it's still out here, out there, and upstream. Folks, you gotta wake up, man. You gotta wake up. Stop being asleep. Understand. I'm 47. I saw all the guys play. I saw every single one of these guys play. I saw them playing live when you didn't know the results. And if you can't understand the difference, it is what it is. But LeBron James will never be better than Michael Jordan. I'm sorry, he never will be. Michael Jordan was a better basketball player than him. LeBron can play 40 years if he wants. It doesn't matter. I'm talking about the best player, not the best stats. Karl Malone has more points than Michael Jordan. Is he better than Michael Jordan? He played more 82. He played more 82 games throughout his career than Michael. Is he better? Same with Stockton. Just you guys gotta get over this already. LeBron will never. He's not even better than Kobe. Michael, Kobe, number 1 and 2. I've never seen anyone better than those two when it mattered. No one. And this isn't a slight to LeBron. LeBron is the best player of his generation, and it's not close. Not Steph, not Durant. Sorry, it's not. He is the best of his era. But he ain't better than Kobe and he ain't better than Michael Jordan. Those two didn't have any weaknesses. Ha ha ha, Joe, wear that chug jug. He, FR. Can you speak English, asshole? Can you type? There is enough to type.
Right below that, CMB asked, who did you think, who do you prefer? Was it LeBron or Duncan?
Who do I prefer?
Who's better?
No, come on, LeBron. LeBron is ridiculously great, guys. No one is better than LeBron and Kobe in the 21st century. No one. It's Kobe and LeBron. Duncan is amazing. Amazing. But he's not a better player than those two guys. He's not. It's okay. Let him talk. It's okay, Mark. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I see that.
A bit
It's
too
okay.
much
Let
about Kobe.
it simmer down a little bit. If you start saying other things,
shout out to Bro.
Fair enough.
That's the first time I've seen that I think ever on the show. So that's an interesting one.
Yeah, I agree.
But again, it is the Lakers that won earlier.
I'm talking about player, not team. Duncan is the second, in my view, in me watching players, because I didn't see Bill Russell play, so you can add Bill Russell into that as well. Magic Johnson, to me, is the greatest team individual player I've ever seen. Like, in terms of auto team sport is Magic, and then Duncan is second. But Bill Russell has an argument in that as 1, 2, or 3 or whatever. But I never saw Russell play. I can't assess that one. Tim Duncan is the best player I've seen in a team sport, because it didn't matter. Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, it didn't matter if it's Kawhi Leonard. The guy was the perfect, as close to perfect of a team great player. Magic has an edge on it because Magic controlled the game, whereas Duncan didn't control the game, but not like Magic did. Magic was to me, Magic is Isaac Newton of basketball.
Duncan just takes the fundamentals.
You can go back and forth with him and Larry Bird. Him and Larry Bird, either one of those guys can flip back and forth between either Albert Einstein or Isaac Newton of their sport. It's beyond genius in terms of their ability to understand the game.
And Xbox, I'll just say this because I remember Jamie Sweet brought this up one time, and he got like a big long letter from someone in regards to the response on it, because he feels one way, another way. All I can tell you are the facts. Shout out to Bro.
Is that with a CTS or X?
The facts are there was no proof. There was no guilt. It was a civil case, settled. You can speculate. We can all speculate on what happened. We don't know for sure. Again, because it's settled.
People want to believe what they want to believe.
And the thing is, if it was for sure what happened, how come the police didn't pursue it? How come the authorities did not pursue it?
Man, come on. Shout out to Bro. That's just pure speculation. At the end of the day, that's the same thing they said about Giddey, and you've got to give, someone their, innocence until they're proven guilty, and they weren't proven guilty, blah, 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 man. Honestly, man, I'm going to tell you right now, I know the boys have a different opinion on me, but shout out to Bro. Yeah, you keep going on about Kobe being a rapist, man. You're going to be out of here in 2 seconds, bro.
It doesn't matter. Again, shout out to Bro. It was settled out of court with no guilt proven. And again, the law authorities didn't pursue it. So obviously they did not feel they have a strong enough case in order to do that. You can speculate all you want. And I have certain thoughts on it too, one way or the other, but I'm not going to say what that is on the air. I'm just going to say, again, what the facts are the facts. It was settled out of court, no admission of guilt, and not pursued by the authorities. And there's nothing that you can say that's there. So, yeah, I understand what Shaq said at the time and all that stuff, but it is, again, that's
yeah. And
living in 2004.
Shaq's perfect too, Gerald.
Yeah, Shaq
Someone that's
is
proven to have cheated on his wife and blah blah blah. Yeah, perfect guy, Shaq, to reference there. Shout out
exactly.
to bro.
Yeah, so
I knew this was
shout
going
out
to
to
happen. I knew the Diddy stuff was going to start coming. That's why I was trying to avoid the
Yeah,
conversation.
wow.
Yeah.
I don't want to go there. I do not want to go there, and it's far too late for Legend to go there.
Jeremy said, I did some digging on the Beasley thing. He definitely is doing some wrong things. He would banned, I reckon. What's your thoughts, G? Take a look at the video. If you ever see, did you guys actually see the video of Beasley in the game in question that was, had a fixed outcome and what have you? It does
Yeah.
not look good
No.
for Malik Beasley. I'll just say that. Bring it
No,
back
no,
in.
he knew. Yeah, he knew what he was doing, Gerald.
He knew what he's
got
doing.
into-
Yeah,
yeah,
the last few seconds, he did a Darius Baisley did today. Just went full court just to try and score that layup because
Yeah.
exactly the point spread involved in it. Kind of makes you wonder there. So yeah, the feds
make
are
that
on
money.
him, Legend. And I don't think again he will have a very good outcome. And if he does, he's going to get a lifetime ban, like Porter's brother, I believe. Right, Porter's brother.
Yep.
Yeah.
Also got a ban as well, Legend. So, yeah, your thoughts on
That's
that?
nice,
Because,
but they'll still promote that stuff, right? That's okay, right?
oh yeah, well they'll still advertise it. You will still see sports
They'll
betting
still take the
across the
money.
board,
Nice.
as long as the players don't do it. That's all they care about.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
make
yeah.
money off gambling. You don't. Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Man, it's
Good job.
unfortunate.
Good job
but
signing.
Legend,
Good job
but-
signing those contracts, guys. Good. Keep doing that.
I've said this
Hey,
before to the guys, but we've had sports gambling a lot longer than you guys, Legend, maybe 10, 15 years longer.
Well,
And
I've had it for quite a while in Vegas. So.
yeah, in Vegas, Gerald. Yeah, but we've had sort of like that open
But the
online
apps, the whole,
platform.
the online.
Yeah. And man, it's bad, bro. It's every time you watch a sport, every second ad or every ad, all advertising is sports betting. And it's not just about the player, the individual player maybe wanting to make money. Sometimes there could be outside influence. It might be their brother that's getting pressured from. It's a bad, it's a blight on sports, but it's like smoking in the 90s when they took all the smoking money, all the cigarette advertising, and then eventually they went, nah, we're banning this because cigarettes kill people. It's gonna happen with gambling. Not
Well,
for
it's so
a
funny,
while.
Mark, because again, I'm not a smoker, never want to be a smoker. But if you smoke, that's up to you. But the thing is, it's like the stupid laws here in the States. And Legend and Joe can attest to this. The fact that you can't have somebody in an alcohol commercial drink alcohol in the commercial, but right after the ad ends, you can watch a movie, and the movie they can just go ahead like this, or the TV show, they can drink all they want. It makes absolutely no sense. The cigarettes. I understand why that cigarettes are no longer allowed to advertise out there, of course, what they can do. But you're still, trying to do everything you can to circumvent it, get around it. And as far as the marijuana industry, I mean, it's all over Las Vegas. They advertise nonstop here in Las Vegas. So,
but those things, sort of taking those, but it doesn't influence like sport as such. Do you know what I mean? I mean, it can, the individual player, but when there's money involved and the way you can manipulate outcomes of games, man, they got to get rid of player props. I mean, what the hell is player props?
How has it affected football? Let me ask you this: how has it affected your football, your soccer? That's what I want to know. I mean,
man, honestly, a lot, Gerald. And when you've got gambling and sports, if you really want to get down to the nitty gritty of it, how many outcomes are influenced by gambling? It's potentially a lot, man. And it could be the whole sport. That's what worries me. But anyway, just on the fundamentals, I love basketball, so I just look at it like that. But they've got to find a way to get the balance right between gambling and the money in the sport. And soccer's got the same problem. We got the same problem down under. But you're going to get more and more of these cases, man, with Beasley and Porter Jr. And it's a shame. It's a shame. And personally, I was someone that didn't mind a punt, but I've gone away from it just on the principle that, yeah, I don't know what it's doing to sport, man. But anyway, sorry,
I want to
bit
get
negative.
no,
Go
no worries.
positive.
No, you're good. You're good, man. I'm gonna Legend. I want to hear your thoughts on the sports game. Joe, can you answer Intel's question? I think he's got a question pointer for you on the Dodgers on that. But Legend, I wanted to get into your thoughts. I mean, because you live on the East Coast, and in doing so, you may get things different. I get different. Joe gets different things on sports gambling and gambling than I do here in Vegas, where gambling is such an integral part of Las Vegas. If there wasn't gambling here in Las Vegas, there would quite possibly be a Las Vegas. But when you're from where you're at in the
That's a
Southeast,
good start.
how much does the gambling world have an effect on you guys out there? How much do you see it? How much?
We see it a lot.
Uh-huh.
Like we see it a lot. We see DraftKings commercials all the time. I got they in 11th grade now. My 11th graders who were 10th graders in my biology class, even telling me they was using DraftKings on a lot of NBA games making money. So
those are high schoolers telling you that. Is that correct?
Yep, high schoolers.
Wow.
That's how they talk about the game, man. They talk about the game like, oh, this is the line. They know the lines. They know the odds for the game. That's crazy, Legend. At that age to know that can't be good, man.
I mean, I literally had a boy in my class tell me he betted $150 on a Warriors and Lakers game. I was like, wow, man. Yeah, man.
These are high schoolers, man. Gosh. I can't be too surprised, but
gambling and weed need to be in the shadows. They shouldn't be they should be mainstream. Because
it extends to video games too, Joe. The gambling video games is a disgrace.
Video games at least can
by
be
Xbox.
No, like with the loot boxes and stuff. Obviously, I love games.
Okay. Please,
clarify. That FIFA and NBA 2K with all the packs and shit.
Yes.
That is a joke. We
cannot wait till GTA 6 comes out next year at $100 and has like. Of course, 2K loves loot boxes. Yeah, can't wait till GT has like 500 loot boxes just to piss.
They need a commission on that, man. They got to get all that shit out.
Yeah. I mean, Joe, you've been very passionate about it as far as I'm concerned. I would love the fact that it would be in the shadows, sports gambling and marijuana, but it isn't. It isn't.
And it's not because you've had. When you let, just like the internet, when you let the sewage of society decide the right things, what's right, and that's always subjective. What's right? Well, what's right is marijuana smell during the day when children are walking around is not right. Gambling when 20-year-olds are bankrupting their parents in their 20s. That's not right. And you can sit there and you can say, well, that's not a responsibility. Okay, so why is that not your responsibility? Yet when there's a city that's dealing with certain legal situations, all of a sudden now you're like, well, that's not fair. Well, it's not fair because it's not what you believe in, right? Are we going all the way with it, or are we just going to pick the ones that we want to go get away with it? See, that's not how it works. This is the part where I will end you in every argument, and I've done it. You're going to be a hypocrite, or you're going to go all the way with what you're saying? Because you can't have it one way, the way you want, and then the same situation in another area, and you're like, oh, no, that needs to be okay. No, that's not how it works. Can't do that because you look like a buffoon. Gambling. Mainstream gambling is a disease. Gambling destroys more people than even drugs in a lot of ways. And that's another subject that I'm not going to get into. Drugs, all this pharma crap, all of it. It's garbage.
But you'd have to get about 10 minutes of effects that you have to go ahead and say, oh, may cause trauma, death, brain damage.
So we just saw, we were talking about it on playback.
Yeah.
Right? They put these fucking idiots on TV, these actors. They're out there jerking off, having a great time. I got cystic fibrosis. I have ALS and I'm dancing with all these fucking people at the beach. I'm like, you ain't fucking doing that shit. That's fake. It's a fucking lie. Everything out there is to get your money. Everything. And they're making it okay. Now, let's look at something a little bit lighter. Look at what's going on with the NIL in college sports. It's so bad that you got Deion Sanders asking for a fucking salary cap now in college football or sports. You ever heard the term, that's how it starts? It's a very, very good term. You can't let the idiots run the asylum. There needs to be rules. The reason why America became America is because we're a country of laws. And we don't have a monarchy making up shit. We actually try to make laws to make things make sense. But slowly, more and more as we go, we're running into these, well, that's your opinion. It has nothing to do with an opinion. It's you're going to fuck shit up. You remember the scene in The Godfather? This is the last thing I'll say about this. Remember the scene in The Godfather, Gerald, and how they're trying to get Don Corleone to sell drugs. They need his influence. And what does he say? He says, to some degree, a lot of the other stuff we do isn't it's underground. It's the gambling, it's the women, but drugs is a dirty business, and the cops won't tolerate that as much as they would women and
the booze and
right.
Yep.
Because that stuff was kind of underground. Now, when you start doing drugs, where do you start to influence a society? The first place you start, where? Children.
And they're doing it with Legends children.
Because they want lifelong customers. Lifelong customers. That's what they want. Gambling, women, you can't go sell women to kids. Can't go sell.
Man, I feel bad gambling for you, to all those kids.
The kids, because they don't have any money, right? So, again, the point is, everything that I've seen going on here the last 5-6 years with all this shit is just more, and the more they keep doing this, the more they allow it. All these sports teams and leagues, you notice that things are getting worse, but no one gives a shit because everyone wants to get their money. Let's destroy society so you can have your money, Roger Goodell and Manfred and Silver. And then in the end, they're gonna have halftime where they'll put those little things. Oh, I know somebody who died because of this, so that they can. Oh, they're there because they care about you. Man, fuck you. You don't give a fuck about anything except making money.
And I don't want to be hypocritical because when we do Inside Sports Fantasy Football, Joe, we go over the favorites, pick of the week, that type of deal. But we mean it for an audience that
adults that are making that choice.
Yeah.
By the way, we're part of the problem too. Just so you guys know, I'm not innocent in this. I support all this because I watch. So I'm the problem too. But I'm just letting you know that this is what it is. It'd be better if I just not watched this stuff, then I'd feel a little bit better. But don't think you're all clear in the deal. Like, I always crack up with all these goody two-shoes. I'm like, don't you have an iPhone?
Yeah.
Oh, you're all about human rights and all that? I go, do you know how that phone that you're yapping about all your bullshit 20 hours out of the day, you know who fucking made that thing?
Yeah.
What, you think it was some guy in a suit sitting on some skyscraper in New York did that? You fucking moron. Shut up.
If you're gambling, guys, and you do it responsibly, you do it for, like for me, whenever I go to, I go to the sports book and make a bet 2-3 times a year. That's 2-3 times a year. That's what I'll do tops, or I'll go gamble maybe 1 or 2 times a year still at the slots or what have you. Again,
did you bankrupt your mom?
No, I did not.
There you go. There's a difference.
And that's the thing. Intel, when he dropped 1,000 on the Dodgers, as he said earlier in the chat, I'm assuming he did that responsibly with the understanding he has got other available sources of revenue in case he loses that bet. But is that a solid bet, Joe? Dodgers win the World Series.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you need a little bit of proof, just look at what Ohtani did today. I want you to imagine this, because things get really tight in the playoffs. Imagine this. Imagine the Dodgers are up 2-1, and it's a pretty important game. Let's say it's a game 5 in a series, and then you start seeing Ohtani warming up for the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings.
Good luck.
Good night. No one has
The
that.
only thing that worries me, Joe, about your Dodgers is the coach. He seems like a little bit of a, you know what I mean? If you had,
Say that to Empire Jeff, he'll blow a gasket.
Here we go.
My bad. But you know what I mean? Like I see it with my team, and
Because he used to get mad when Joe was going off on him. When Joe would go off on him,
really. He
Empire
loves
Jeff
Roberts,
would really get mad. Really get mad.
So
look,
here's where there's 2 instances.
No problem, Legend. You were
There's-
so graceful staying with us late, man. Big shout out to Legend for staying
Yeah,
with us till-
man.
Thanks,
Far
Legend.
out.
Appreciate
care,
it. Have a
Legend.
good night, brother.
Y'all have a good night,
You
fellas.
got it,
Have a
my
good
friend.
night.
Get some rest,
There's-
my friend. Thank you.
There's 2 instances that broke me with Roberts. Number one, putting Kershaw in a bad situation in the 2019 NLDS.
Mhm.
In a deciding 5th game. They were up late. They were up late in that game, and they should have won that series. The one that really broke me, the one that really it's been hard to get over still to this day. In 2022, at the beginning of the year, it was in April, Kershaw was pitching a perfect game into the 7th. He finished the 7th. That means 2 more innings. A perfect game, not a no-hitter. A perfect game, and he took him out.
Hang on,
And
what's a
Kershaw
perfect game, Joe?
look, Kershaw at that
Perfect
point,
game versus a no-hitter, just for me.
Kershaw
sorry.
at that point already had solidified everything. He was a first ballot Hall of Famer, probably arguably the greatest Dodger ever. All that shit was there. How many times would you have had that chance to get a perfect game so that the greatest pitcher of his era could put a stamp on it? And he took him out. And Kershaw, being the nice guy that he is, supported it, tried to bail out Roberts. I was over it at that point. I wanted to fly wherever. I can't remember where. I wanted to fly to LA and kill him. I was beyond infuriated. However, Roberts managing in this last playoff brought me back a little bit because he did a phenomenal job.
Yeah, fair call.
So how it plays out the rest of the year, again, this team has too much depth, too much talent, and we have Ohtani. And if that scenario happens, there's no one that's ever had that before. You don't go into the 7th inning, and then all of a sudden you have an Ohtani you can throw at somebody for the last 2 innings. Someone who can throw 100 miles an hour for about 20 or 25 pitches to end that game and win it. That's just not – that doesn't happen in baseball. So that's what that is.
The reason why, Jeremy, the Tommy John surgery, although it's very common now, was there was a pitcher played for the Dodgers, Tommy John. He was the first to have it. That's why they named it after him. Joe, is it not they take a ligament from another part of the body, usually the arm, elbow, whatnot,
The
UCL joint, and then they put it shoulder because it's essentially it's a shoulder reconstructive surgery.
No, here.
Yeah, but they take it out of there to put it here. Is that correct?
I think they'll take it from somewhere in the legs sometimes too. Depends.
Okay.
I haven't looked into the new. Apparently, Ohtani had this revolutionary because this was his second one. Some kind of revolutionary UCL Tommy John
elbow
surgery.
ligament. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah. That is. I don't know what that means. I haven't had a chance to really dissect it. Pardon the pun, but apparently, if this thing is what it is, it could be it might be a solving issue for the future, but we'll see.
Okay. Again, I'm hoping it will be because it does.
Well,
take
it
time.
doesn't. I think Ohtani's going to pitch probably 2 more years at least.
Mhm.
If the Dodgers win a title this year with him pitching and being an integral part of the pitching, I mean, let him go another year, maybe 3, and then that's it. Hang it up. You did what you did. If they win let's say the next 3 years, they win 2 out of the next 3 titles. Otani's the greatest baseball player that ever lived, and he pitched and hit in those title runs, and that stamps it.
No, I think what Joe's trying to say, Jeremy, is that
Yeah, it does.
he's pitching now. He's pitching like they're easing him back into it and using him periodically, and they're easing him back into it so he'll be able to pitch, Joe. Correct me if I'm wrong,
today
during the
was
playoffs more effectively.
I got a question.
Go ahead,
I
Mark.
want to ask Joe this. Joe, is Otani a better pitcher or batter?
Good question.
He likes pitching more than he likes hitting.
Is he better?
It's a
He's bloody good at pitching.
it's hard
man.
to
Jeez,
assess
isn't
that.
he a good batter?
It's hard to say that, because an everyday player is going to be more valuable than a pitcher who only does things every 5th day.
Good
So,
point.
in my view, he's a better hitter than a pitcher because his value goes up. It's every day. But he actually, this is from what I heard, he says, hitting is what I do, pitching is what I am. And
He
if
loves
he
pitching.
pitched exclusively, he would be a Cy Young pitcher. That's why he's the best That's why the argument of him being the best baseball player is there. There's never been that guy except for maybe Babe Ruth. That's it. They didn't have Cy Young awards back in the 10s and 20s.
Yeah.
And
to be doing it now,
yeah,
it's crazy.
So and looking at and he's the guy that's hitting 280 with 32 home runs and 60 RBIs, and he's actually not having a good year the last few weeks. That's like he's
crazy.
gonna hit 50 home runs again. He's gonna get 100 plus RBIs again. Oh, and he's also gonna pitch. I mean, today was the first time. Today he pitched for the first time as a Dodger for 3 innings, and he struck out almost everyone today. It was we got to let it play out too. I want to see how he does. He has yet to hit well and pitch in the same day. I want to see him hit well and pitch. It's only his 3rd time pitching, I think, or 4th time.
He hasn't. When was the last time he was in the outfield, Joe? When was the last time he was out there?
I can't even remember. He might have been in Anaheim, but I can't remember.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
he hasn't been in the out. He hasn't played the outfield at all as a Dodger the last year and a half.
He doesn't field, does he?
Can you say one of the best rules by baseball? For me, I like it, is the DH rule being played now in both leagues. Is that something you like, Joe, or did you like the whole you can scheme around with the how to?
No, it changed once baseball became more strict in its ability to play against a particular player. The DH had to come to the NL because you essentially would have handicapped a team in the NL versus the AL. If they wanted to get rid of the designated hitter in both leagues, then things even out. But they couldn't have one in one place and one in the other. No, they had to bring the DH. This is before I knew Otani was coming to the Dodgers. This is just something that you can't. You're basically wasting a bad bat with the pitcher. The analytics, the way they pitch now, that out would have been. It would have been like onside kicks in football. The percentages would have gone so far down. It's a waste because of the new rules. Does that make sense? Do you understand what I'm saying there, Gerald?
Yeah.
So because you can't run when you're doing an onside kick now, like you used to, you have to wait for the kicker to kick it. The percentage of that player trying to recover after 10 yards went down from like, what was it, 29 to 35%, 29% to like 11. You have no shot at getting that ball. Oh, and you have to make the announcement that you're doing it. I'm like,
trash, man.
That's stupid.
Did you used to be able to be like 10 yards in front of the kicker?
So you're able to run
sprint.
and they would
Yeah.
time it so where the ball was when the kicker was kicking it was 10 yards.
Exactly
let's say, right?
when the
So as soon as they would follow the kicker as they're running, and then as soon as
Yeah.
the ball got kicked, they timed it to where they were there right before it got kicked, and then
and they're
the
off.
ball jumps, and then you have a chance at recovering if the other team doesn't catch it or it hits them, and it's a free ball.
Yeah, because you don't see any of that short sort of kickoff anymore. Just quickly, designated hitter. Again, I don't really. How does that work, guys? Is that like, okay, they say before the game, Otani's the designated hitter tonight, and then that means he doesn't have to field or do any other responsibilities as such? Can he then get subbed out during the game for another DH, or am I going too far there? We don't really understand that, myself and Jeremy down under. How does the designated hitter work?
I think you said it pretty much how it works, though.
Okay.
Joe?
Yeah, it's just they don't field. Now, if he's pitching, that's fine. But as soon as he's not pitching, you just replace that guy with whoever you're putting in there. So the designated hitter doesn't have to worry about fielding. He's just there for at bats.
So does that mean someone on the field doesn't bat?
Yeah, that's it. So instead of the pitcher,
man, that's weird.
Instead of the pitcher just pitches, and the DH just hits. That's the replacement. In the NL before 5 years ago, there was the pitcher had to bat. So whoever's pitching that game, he had to
bat as well.
Hit.
And now they've changed that. Yeah.
Which was really bad.
That's another thing. That's another thing that cracks me up about these. Oh well, Ohtani has to hit and pitch. I'm like, what are you fucking for 100 years? That's what they did, and these guys actually pitched for 7, 8, 9 innings too. On top of that, so like, what are you bitching about? Such a soft ass freaking society we're in, man. It's not like they're baking cakes out there. They're batting and they're pitching.
Oh no, man. They're not even running half the time.
Jeez.
I'll tell you what, though, it was good to hear everybody in the chat today. Just absolutely cannot thank Intel Wild, M24, 805 for their great contributions, and everybody else for their contributions today. It was really, really great to have everyone here for quite a spell. So it was good, yeah. But man, I don't know how you already said it. Lakers in 5 does it for like 6-7 hours. I don't get it. I just absolutely to do that. What they do, I give them a shout out to go ahead and keep on.
You boys do great, Gerald, man.
But yeah,
I mean that content you've been giving us lately.
But I've told you like 25,000 views is to actually make
money,
a living, to make a living, to start paying out people for being on the panels, etc., etc., etc. 25,000 views has to start. I mean, Lakers Nation, you look at them and see their numbers. That's what you have to do to make Dan the Lakers fan is what you have to do as far as his numbers in order to make this living. And I'm hoping one day we can do that. We've been doing this for a few years and hopefully we can do it for more. But again, it's not without your help. So if you like what you saw today, please like and subscribe. Mark, I'll hit it to you before I hit it to Joe, Mr. Smiley Touchy-Feely over there. Mark, any thoughts on the way out, my friend? Good victory for the Lakers. Again, these guys that are playing with their hearts on their sleeves, they're playing for their NBA future, and it's good to see. But then you have Bronny and Dalton, and I wish they had the same kind of sense of urgency that Baisley and Stewart and Swider have right now that are playing for their NBA lives.
Yeah. Look, Gerald, I'll just end on a positive note. I'm still really, really high on where we are as a Laker team. I think we need to see a fit Luka, and what that can bring to the squad, irrespective of the changes that we do make between now and the start of the season. I really like the fact we got Ayton. That's a great sign. They've obviously been able to talk him into it. He could have gone potentially anywhere, and he's chosen the Lakers. So I like that as a starting point. I also believe that there's a lot of media talk right now. I mean, surely LeBron can't be looking at this team as like being a non-contender. You've got Luka Doncic as your best player, bro. So I don't know if I believe all the noise right now. I just want to see the team start playing, and obviously it's going to be a while between then. JJ's got a lot of improvement to make as well, Gerald. He was guilty for some really poor decisions in the Minnesota series. So even if we don't make a trade between now and the start of the season, Gerald, I'm going to be really positive because I still believe that there's time to make the right trade in due course. But for now, let's be positive, Laker fans, man. It's all good. And I still am on cloud 9 since the day we got the Luka trade. And I just can't wait to see him with an off season. And that's what he's getting right now, man. And I think as a fan base, we're still slightly underselling how good this guy is. The dude for me is the best player in the world. And I love Luka, so let's see what he does. But shout out to Joe, Gerald, and
Yes.
Legend, man. Great show and chat.
Yeah,
Thank you
big
so
shout
much
out to
for having me
Legend.
on.
Yeah, absolutely,
Man,
Mark. You're
mad
great.
dog.
And shout out to you for being here 3.5 hours, and Joe as well.
Well, it's the
Absolutely.
Arvo for me, you know. It's only 5 o'clock for me now on the Sunday Arvo. For you boys, it's a bit more hectic.
It's a late dinner for me, that's for sure. Jeremy says lots of noise and unrest from LeBron, though.
Tip of the cap.
Every channel is talking about it. Joe, I guess we had to talk about it too. You were only here to talk Summer League, and look what happened.
I know.
Brought out the cockroaches, the LeBron cockroaches, all over the place. It's all about this. It's all about this. Winning. I'm about winning. Winning is the only thing that matters.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll see where the Lakers will be here in the next few weeks with their roster. And then after that, we start focusing on training camp. And then we'll be back watching 82 games plus preseason games. And gonna see how it plays out here, man.
I just hope for Dalton he takes this seriously. I understand he's on a guaranteed contract, and then he's still got maybe his mind all over the place for what happened to the trade. He needs to focus. He needs to be a better defender. He could find himself. He's 24 now, but at 26, he could find himself in the very same spot Baisley at 25 and Cole Swider is at 26 right now. Those guys are trying to fight to get back into the NBA. He's got it good right now, Knecht does, but he needs to focus on being a better player, acceptable enough defender, a better playmaker, better decision maker. He's got the shot, but then as we're seeing, Mark, you know, these guys that are just one-trick ponies like Landry Shamet, Davis Bertans, they were paid big money around the beginning of the decade.
It's a great
big money, but once that big money, once the league caught up to them and found that a lot of players can shoot 35, 37, 38% from three-point line, but they can provide better rebounding, better defense, better passing, better skills than those guys. Those guys like Landry Shamet, he's now struggling to stay in the league. Davis Bertans, I think he's in Europe. I mean,
you're totally right.
Cole Swider is a three-point shooter, but what else does he bring to you? He is still trying to get into the league. Still get in the league. Trying to get a regular contract. Dalton in 2 years could find himself on the outside looking in if he does not improve his game.
He has to, Gerald. We know that. The key for me is not so much the playmaking. He's got to get better on defense. And when you're that athletic, surely you can. You know, and we've got to give him time. You know, I think we're a little bit too harsh on Dalton at the same time as well. The guy's the 18th pick in the draft. We expected nothing from him. He turned out to be an absolute gun scorer. So there's a reason he wasn't drafted until 23, Gerald. He's got deficiencies, but hopefully he can work on it. And it's not the playmaking. He can't be expected to be a playmaker, shooter, defender. He's got to focus on defense and shooting. And I still will give him time. And the way that he was sort of hung out to dry by JJ, I still don't believe was correct in the Minnesota game. Hung out to dry was incorrect. That was more Hayes. He didn't play him when he could have. I don't know. I still
We
see
didn't play him or
something.
Hayes when they came
No,
down.
that's right. So, yeah, look, Dalton Knecht, man, we can get stuck on him all day. If he doesn't become a better defender, he's not going to offer us nothing. We got
I think
bigger
Connect's a
problems
little
than
bit more
Dalton,
athletic than Swider, but
He
I
is.
think
He definitely is, man.
Yeah,
The way
I
he can
think-
dunk in that, Gerald. He can definitely elevate. That's something I saw in his game. But shout out to you boys who are now on my timeline as well on the 13th of July.
if he can't
12
defend,
PM
though,
for you.
Mark, if he can't defend, he may find himself on the outside.
No, he'd be out of the league, man. There's plenty of players that can shoot threes nowadays. I can shoot threes too, but I can't move like these guys. So there's no way I'm getting an NBA gig. So yeah, Dalton, but we got to give him a little bit more time too.
Oh yeah.
And,
I mean,
he's
got a contract that'll allow him to do that. So
that's right. And man, I hope he gets minutes in our team this year, and we'll see what he does, man. Because I absolutely love seeing him last year at times, Gerald. And we forget that it's a rookie season, and a rookie season where he was drafted with Bronny James, who had more hype about him, blah blah blah. And he got traded. I don't know. Let's just if Dalton comes good, it'll be a real cherry on top for me.
yeah, Justin, we do care about the defense, even if he's shooting lights out, because JJ won't keep him on the court, even if he's shooting lights out. He has been known to pull the plug pretty quickly on Dalton, and as we've talked about, his minutes have been inconsistent all season, Joe. But if he needs a learning lesson, and how important it is for him to get at least incrementally better on the defensive end, he just has to look at Darius Baisley. What happens to a guy that's a first-round pick that had all the things coming to him when he was with OKC and just played his way out to the league, as now is trying to do everything he can to get back in. Mark talked about how he thinks, he might be deserving a two-way. This guy was a starter for OKC earlier this decade, and now he's trying to do anything he can, literally, as we saw today's game, literally trying to do anything he can to get back in. I'm just saying he should serve as a reminder to Dalton. This is what you have. This is what can happen if you don't work on those deficiencies in your game, Joe.
Lakers are not going to be about the reclamation projects. If you're not going to be worth a damn, I don't think they're going to waste a lot of time. If you need proof, you're already seen it.
They're not a patient organization. I will agree with you on that.
They're definitely not going to be patient now. This is not a developmental team. The Lakers just acquired Luka Doncic. Now it's time to start winning championships. So I'm not too concerned with the talent coming out of the summer league. I'm never even thinking about it. As far as Dalton Knecht is concerned, I have high hopes for him, but if the hopes die out, so be it. It is what it is.
You kind of said you were like, things were not going in the.
If you're not going to get your act together, then I'm not going to waste my time thinking about it.
Yeah.
If Dalton Knecht is still reeling from the trade or something's going on outside his life and he can't control it, I'm not going to sit here and worry about it. This team needs to put together a championship roster that can compete for the next half decade. If you guys aren't a part of that, then it's time to go a separate way.
Yeah, tough. He had it all at one time. Basically did at OKC, and he just didn't work on his game. He was a terrible 3-point shooter. 6'9". Is he a center? He's kind of slight build for a center. And I know he looks good doing those end-to-end court runs where he takes the ball from one end to the other, but he's got to put these things all together. There's a reason why he's out of the league and trying to get back in. So I wish him and Swider and Stewart and all the guys out there the chance and ability to go ahead and get on a roster, and hopefully that will work out for them. But we got to try to put our best forward to get the best players on our team as well. So we will see. Jerry, where does Westbrook sign? Anybody that wants the
Yes.
Westbrook experience, and at this point, it ain't the Clippers, it ain't the Lakers, it ain't Denver. Maybe Denver might take him back on a minimum.
Orlando?
I don't know.
They're a
Orlando could be. At this point, it's getting close to the end of the line, Jeremy. How many chances will it be? How many places will he,
Yeah.
get run out of? So we'll have to wait and see. Justin said basically just needs to eat some meat and potatoes.
He does, but yeah,
It's
honestly,
25. You better have eaten those potatoes already. So
Gerald, if we can get him from the right price, from what I saw, there's something there, man. Like there's enough. Like the right price means absolutely nothing. But from what I saw against Dallas and today's game, the dude's still okay, man. Like he's definitely better than players than Koloko and Jamison.
oh yeah, I'm not
Yeah,
gonna,
so
I'm not, but again, there were
Make it
certain
up.
reasons why he just didn't develop or he just didn't stay in the league. His height, is he a forward? Is he a center?
yeah,
That's the question you got to ask yourself.
that 6'9's never a good height,
No,
is it? Like
unless he's
you're a
athletic,
forward.
unless he's fast enough and athletic enough to stay with forwards. Is
Yeah.
he that he plays?
Or
He's been playing
playmaker.
the 5 for the Lakers, so that's the problem. He's playing the
True,
5 for the
true.
Lakers. So, how bad does
Yeah, I
Sar
don't
look?
see him as a 5. Yeah,
Um,
sorry.
I guess Sar's looked okay in summer league. He's not been bad, but then he's got a long way to go with Washington. Washington's, they're going to give him a long platform and a lot of time. They want to be bad. They want to be bad again, Jeremy. So they're going to let him do as much as they need. He can take as many shots as they want. Cam Whitmore, that's why going there is going to be great for him because he will get to score as much as he wants. All right, guys. I think we're going to go ahead and shut it down now. Mark, Joe. I think we're done for tonight. Joe, any last thoughts before we end it out?
No.
That's what I thought. All right, guys. Joe is coming to. He's going. Your show is on tomorrow, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, or today, I should say.
Later
That's right.
tonight.
Yes. So, yes, head on over to the
Tomorrow
Joe
for me.
Sporo channel. It's very meh, Dameless. I guess I agree with you on that. It's very meh for Sar right now. But head over tonight to the Joe Soro channel. Mark will be there in the chat. He may even be on stage. You never know. I might be there as well. So
I'm
we'll see what happens.
Man. Maybe not.
But it is of course the Lakers Fast Break. Please like and subscribe before you head on out. I may stop by Summer League this week. We'll see. But again, Joe Soro channel tomorrow for the latest word on the Dodgers and his thoughts on the NBA and the Lakers. You'll find out on the Joe Soro channel. But for now, thank you so much for spending the last 3 hours and 37 minutes with you. It's been great. It's been fun. It's Summer League. Keep it rolling right here at the Lakers Fast Break Podcast.
Dan, 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 dan. All right, I'm going to sleep.
Me too.
Me 3.